Hi, everybody. We are back once again, this time with Chapter 5 of Sanguine Dominion. Our wonderful coterie has gotten up to various unfortunate things for some, fortuitous things for others, and mysterious circumstances for the last two that we were with in the last episode. For those of you who don't remember, we left off with Archon Grafton, as well as one of her attendees, the Nosferatu Primogen, and their meeting with the beautiful Lupe and the Fendi wearing Deacon, Mr. Fendi himself. But that being said, we are going to get right into it this evening. We will waste no time zooming in a little bit further to just Deacon and Archon Grafton. As Howley and Lupe leave the scene, you are left standing before the throne and lighting and very extra set piece that Archon Grafton has set here. They wait a little while. They light another cigarette, putting it back into the cigarette holder. All right. So, now that we are alone, I have a few personal questions for you. You are a young Kindred. I understand this. But it would seem, all things considered, and this won't be repeated in good company, but for a fledgling like you, you have made quite the name for yourself within the influential circles of mortals in this domain, and also within your own clan, to the point where, although you have left the tower, I have been told that you are to be treated with a modicum of respect. So, I will do my best to keep this professional.
To respect you.
That
Please
would
ask
be the most intelligent thing.
I am very smart. Humble, that depends on the night.
Deacon, tell me about your sire.
What have you heard?
I have heard that your sire is some paragon of primacy of your bloodline, and that you have inherited certain traits that blue bloods truly admire. You have been dead for 10 years. 10 years. Why does the primogen of this city kowtow to you?
The Ventru primogen does not kowtow to me. We respect each other mutually as Ventru. I respect his position as the primogen because, well, as you well know, Ventru, above all else, we will help other Ventru. It's as simple as that. I have helped him. He has helped me. If it seems like kowtowing, it could just be that my demeanor seems a bit more intimidating, and he is not the largest kindred in stature. But I respect his power and his position.
Primogen Damon is not some worm. I've known him for several years now. However, when I approached the Primogen Council upon arriving and had them attend me, I did have a series of one-on-one conversations with each of them when I got around to it. The Nosferatu Primogen Howley, Duncan is a good friend of mine. Primogen Lavali, expected, capricious, egotistical, slightly. There's one that I caught something strange out of, and that was Primogen Damon. I asked him about the kindred of this court. The Archons on one side, or the Anarchs on one side, and the Ivory Tower on the other, and, well, then your name came up. He had a lot of praise. And that's all well and good, clan extolling clan, and loyalties are what they are. But then I pressed him about the dignitas of your clan in this city and where everyone truly ranks. I asked him for his folios. I asked him for his books and ledgers, and it was a little bit of work prying them out of his grasp, but pry them I did. And your name is missing. He doesn't seem to keep tabs on you, besides some sort of oral history that he maintains on your comings and goings in the city. In fact, when I pressed him about that very thing, he didn't give me a good answer. That's not fear. I invoke fear. I recognize fear. That was panic. That was sheer, unadulterated, bone-chilling panic. Like their life would end if I pried too hard. So I stopped. I took the blade away from his throat, so to speak. And now I have to ask, why does Primogen Damon kowtow to you?
One of the most closely guarded things that especially Ventru have is our preferred method of eating.
Right.
Let's just say when we were having a tete-a-tete evening, things got dire for Damon. And I was witness to his preferred method of eating. Nothing untoward like diablerie or anything like that, but enough that perhaps it would raise an eyebrow or two. That's the only thing I could think that would make him panic. And admittedly, it has afforded me a bit more carte blanche with the Ventru Primogen. And as I said, we remain friendly. Though he does not keep a written ledger, there is an oral one. I try to check in when I can.
Deacon, can I please get you to make a manipulation plus subterfuge?
I forgot I never put any dots in subterfuge. I'm going to rouse the blood.
Roll your hunger.
Yeah.
Oh.
I pass. I'm going to roll and add 2 dice.
Please do.
He does not like to lie, which is why he does not have any dots in subterfuge. He either commands or intimidates, but this is not one of those situations. That is 3 successes.
4 successes?
For you?
No,
I got 3 out of.
you
I got
got
3 out of 4. 3 out of 4.
I have 4 successes. I don't enjoy being lied to, but we have only just met. So I don't expect you to spill everything yet, as this is not the most dire thing that I can think of. I was merely curious. So, if it becomes something that I need to know, we can have this conversation again. And I suggest next time be forthcoming. We'll move on to the second question. Where did you send that Malkavian? It was on your private airline, correct? That
Yeah.
you purchased just before suddenly an element of the city, a suspect, some might call them, got on a plane on that airline and flew right to Vancouver, right?
Yes. It was asked of me. I set it up.
Who asked you?
Well, you were very taken with her. That's all I could say.
Oh, it was Lupe. Okay, forgiven.
Yeah.
Now, should I need him returned, would you be opposed to retrieving him? I don't
No,
yet.
I've never
but...
met him. I've never met him.
Okay.
You've Lupe. It's when she asks. I have been known to acquiesce more often than not.
I
She
would
doesn't
too.
force my hand. She's a good friend, and I like to do right by my friends. And what's a private jet between friends?
No. 6 figures is nothing. So, speaking of your good friend, have you met their And then she thinks for a minute, taking a drag on the cigarette. Acquaintance. Liam?
Is that the one that's been looking for her? The answer is no, but I did hear through the grapevine that someone was looking for her. An ex.
It would seem that way. He had an interesting little bit of information for me about all of this. You see, I'd mentioned that he was quite attached to Strathcona, and it would appear that that was a little bit more than skin deep. Mr. Liam, Mr. Claret, he and Strathcona had several business dealings. And when Strathcona died, it left certain things up in the air. So, me being the enterprising individual that I am, I bought up some of those interests and I followed the money trail. Now, he's an ex, right? That's what
our Tremere Primogen said he was.
Okay. Now, he still stands with the Camarilla for the moment. It's interesting that his lover would jump fence, seemingly burn that bridge, and then he would buy up every single enterprise that he could control and grow his influence all throughout this domain. All of these holdings that were iron tight of Kyle Strathcona, right out from under the nose of many of the Primogen. And then he would sign every single one of those over to Lupe. Does she know about that? Do you know about that?
This is the first I've heard about any of this, and now I will do everything in my power to learn as much as possible. So I appreciate you, Madam Archon, for putting me on that trail.
Okay.
Don't appreciate that whatsoever.
It's strange, right? A Camarilla element signing over gigantic swaths of influence that were in Camarilla control over to an Anarch.
I have one theory that's percolating in my head already. If he is an ex and the ministry, I feel like that's just something that a petty ex would do if they had all the resources in the world. Or, quite possibly, this is something he was doing to try to force Lupe back to the Camarilla fold. Either she comes back and you all suspect her of being in on it because she now controls everything that Strathcona had, or you all go after her because she now owns all of the things that Strathcona had.
Right.
A less enterprising person might think something negative about Lupe, but I'm sure at the time they doubted. They didn't think that an Archon with, and I say this as a bit of a sleuth myself, incredible investigative skills would show up.
Okay. Well, then I am going to ask one final question, and then I will grant you the privilege of asking me. And then we can very likely call this meeting adjourned.
Please.
What are you doing about Texas's masquerade breach?
Could you say that last part again? Sorry.
He's a member of your coterie, and he's a member of your motorcycle club. He murdered a man in cold blood. Left him there. Drained. In the middle of suburban Calgary. Bite marks on the neck. You think government organizations forget that? You think they're not in the police? Now, this is all quite below me, to be honest. I'm just wondering, because all of your small, insignificant hiccups, so to speak, they do make it harder for me to get what I need out of this city. So I'll ask again. What are you doing about Texas's masquerade breach?
It was my understanding that it was taken care of.
Right. He made it look like an animal attack, right? I'm sure he's the first person to ever do that. I'm sure there's not a single member of the Second Inquisition that's ever thought to look for a wild animal attack in an urban home. I'm so certain that there aren't Camarilla elements that are out there looking at murder scenes and have elements within the police department. In fact, I'm very, very sure that there's a certain individual in a position of doling out justice within the former court of Calgary that just might have found that body and is going to be holding it over all of your heads as soon as he finds out who did it. Now, you have the luxury of him not having a clue. But I do.
She can openly see Deacon is pissed. This will be addressed. I will make whatever moves I need to make it disappear, even though some time has passed.
He didn't tell you, did he? You're muted.
You're muted.
Nope. Still no.
Did you click off of Discord like you've figured out before?
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Okay. I don't know what that was. I did not touch anything, but okay.
Tech gremlins, yeah.
Yeah, it just said no.
No worries.
I was under the impression that it had been taken care of. He's usually better.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to push my influence to try to make it go away in the human world. Not much I can do about whoever from the court has found her. I'm going...
Okay. So you're handling it, is what I'm hearing.
I'm going to handle this, yes.
Tremendous, tremendous.
Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
Well, someone had to. All right, well, you've been very accommodating and forthcoming besides the first little. But I understand you blue bloods and your secrets about your own little masturbatory cult, but go ahead. Please. Ask me anything. You've earned it.
Above table,
Mm-hmm.
the question you asked at the end of our session, did that still stand? Our last session, you asked what was happening with this in the sewer.
What was happening in the sewer?
She asked me what was going on. What was
Oh,
in the
right,
sewer.
right. I totally forgot all about that. That's my bad. God, sorry, brain has been braining.
Oh, no,
so
good. You were waking up at like 6 a.m.
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, actually, we can do that one more time. We can roll that one back, and keep continuity. The Archon will look at you, and will say, actually, one last, which was also the first question. What is going on down in the sewers?
He gets the most shit-eating grin on his face. Not because, oh, I've got one up on her, but this is just like someone else besides me finally saw this thing. And he's just like, what did you see? And like, it's just like, wait, what did you see? You didn't go in, did you? You didn't go in?
I myself have not seen anything. However, the good man Howley, Primogen Duncan, he keeps a fairly tight grip upon the comings and goings of the individuals and animals and creatures that inhabit the sewers here. Now, he has said that there's something strange going on. Now, I didn't know that you had seen anything, but I do like that response. What have you seen? Because I've been asking everyone.
I have seen things that make Kindred look strange. Whatever this is, I haven't found it in any tome of knowledge that I can get from the sorcerers. All I've been able to do is track a few things down, a few places where I've seen the goings on. Whatever it is dangerous. And it's not just affecting the sewer, it affects the foliage around it on the outside. It's affecting certain animals. Things don't look right, whatever it is, but where it makes its home down there.
Well, it gave Howley quite the fright, and that man, well, he used to live in New York, and he's allegedly seen the thing that lives under Manhattan, and, well,
Ugh.
Yes, nothing quite shakes that man, but he did seem a little perturbed by all of this. Well, tremendous.
Saw a man eviscerated I saw a man eviscerated by foliage.
Foliage, or did it look like... You know, I don't really want to know.
Yeah, this is one of those. This is definitely one of those.
Well, as long as it isn't just carte blanche rending us apart, I will leave it to the court of Calgary. That is not my issue. Now, please, if you have anything to ask me.
Oh, I Daryl, am drawing a blank on what I should ask. Hold on, this is too much power. Who, in your opinion, who do you think did it? If you had to.
Thank you. Thank you. That is a fantastic question. Who do I think did it? I'm going to answer this one honestly. Allegedly, the Primogen were present, and they all took part in some sort of debaucherous ritual. And then Kyle Strathcona was no more. That is the going story. That sounds right. That sounds right on paper. But then why do none of the Primogen remember? Why does not a single one of them have anything other than a glassy-eyed stare when I ask them about the circumstances of that evening? If they drank from him, any of them, why do none of them have the stain of diablerie? And the biggest and best question would be, what was the ritual? Now, you and I both know.
Yes.
That your clan has certain proclivities, and when they get exceptionally good at them, the minds of the many can be twisted with concerted effort.
Concern would be if it was someone of my clan, they would have to be very old.
I don't think it was one of yours, but I think they were using your tricks. There's a few very, very old individuals that wanted Strathcona's head on a platter. He has enemies from the old world still. And if one of those resisted the call and went west instead of east, and they brought all of their old world power and all of their old world magic, if there was some sort of strangeness that seeped into Calgary to get back at Strathcona, I would absolutely build it up as some sort of mystery, but I could be wrong.
That would actually explain what happened with the Primogen, with the Tremere Primogen. Your theory actually holds a lot of water.
Perhaps, but it is just a theory. I don't actually know, is the answer. I wasn't there. None of their minds are sound enough, and there's a distinct lack of evidence. There was the trappings of some sort of ritual. There was the things that could be seen through the sight. There were premonitions that could be drawn forth out of the ether. There are plenty of things that lead me to believe that even the cosmos thinks that's what happened. But I don't know.
Your theory has opened up a new branch of investigation for me. Should I find anything of note, how would you like me to get in contact with you, as we are, it seems, investigating the very same thing? I wouldn't want to approach you again with all the information that you already have again.
Now, Deacon, it almost sounds like you are capitulating to a member of authority within the Camarilla, and that doesn't make you a very good Anarch, now does it?
Hold on, Daryl has to look up what capitulating means.
You're essentially giving into their whims.
Cease to resist an opponent. I was never. We're working on. We're in two lanes going down the same street.
Willingly giving up information to someone other than your Baron?
The Baron knows of this meeting. In fact, the Baron was very concerned that an Anarch was around. And in fact, the Baron is very concerned about the Camarilla assuming that the Anarchs had something to do with it. So, making sure that someone as high in the Camarilla threshold as yourself is well informed that whatever happened was not the Anarchs. Two birds, one stone.
Right, okay. Well,
I'm not a really good Anarch.
She takes another long drag on her cigarette. Mr. Deacon, let me be very, very clear. If you think that I'm here on my own personal whims, that could not be further from the truth. What you're signing up for by offering up information is the complete and utter devastation of the Anarchs. I will be doing everything in my power to disassemble the Anarchs within the city and put back an individual on the throne that is going to do what we need them to do. So,
and here I was thinking you were just trying to figure out who killed your prince and was going home.
Oh, I care not for who killed Kyle. I want someone in power here that I don't have to worry is going to try to cause a revolt, that is going to gain even more power. I'm here to kill your Baron.
Politically or finally?
You really are a fledgling.
No, I know the answer, but as long as I say it out loud, you know.
Right. So, I'm going to put you between a rock and a hard place, and then we are going to call this meeting finished. I want every bit of information that you're going to get on the thing in the sewers, the killer of Kyle Strathcona, and the exact reason why little Liam Claret bought up all of those assets and handed them over to the Anarchs. I want all of that. And if you don't, I'm going to come and I'm going to pry it out of your head. That's how it's going to be. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being so willing with your information.
Thank you for having me, Madam Archon. And he turns on his heel. And he exits the building. And now I gotta call Mom.
For sure. We are going to zoom out from Deacon.
Yeah.
About 30 minutes prior, walking out of that very same building, you are arm in arm with one Duncan Howley, the Nosferatu Primogen, wearing a blank mask and a pure black Armani suit.
Oh my god. Something I appreciate about Howley. He's always well dressed.
As Howley leads you...
While this is happening, can I take a moment to glance at this ring that is now on my hand?
Oh, absolutely.
Before we get to the Howley thing, I really want to know what this looks like.
The ring that is on your finger is made out of an incredibly heavy metal. Something heavier than gold, something heavier than platinum. The stone that is in the ring is a blue gemstone of some sort. Just underneath and at the top of the ring is an insignia. That insignia is very simple. It is the moniker of the rose. It is the symbol of the Toreador. It is... Can I please get you to make an intelligence plus occult?
Yes, please. Okay. All right, I'm only at 1 hunger now. Yay. Only 1 success, but I really want to know, so I'm gonna use a willpower to roll the other one.
Okay.
I want to know the significance of this, and also if it's magic. 2 successes total.
2 successes total.
Yep.
The ring does not seem to be magic in any sort of major way. There is no markers of blood. There is no markers of sorcery. There are no occult symbols. The symbol is the simple symbol of the rose, the one of the Toreador. The gemstone, however, and the material of the ring, which turns out to be tungsten, sort of harkens you back to some lessons that Liam gave you ages ago. In ages past, Domitors would put small markers of station upon their thralls. This ring, in no uncertain terms, marks Lupe as property. Whether or not that is true, whether or not she thinks that, is up in the air. But it would seem as if the Archon is showing some sort of claim.
Oh, this can be useful. I'm just gonna mentally take note of that now that I've had the chance to look at it. As Howley leads me wherever they're leading me to.
Howley is leading you out into the parking lot towards a jet black 4-door sedan. A vehicle with mostly blacked out windows and a driver that is in the seat. Howley says, I hope you don't mind, but we are going to be going for a drive, my dear.
Will we come back?
Not to hear, no. Your friend is in very good hands. The Archon is nothing if not polite. I'm sure he won't be harmed.
All right. May I let him know that I'm leaving? I can text him.
Oh, yes, of course.
And she'll quickly tap, 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 tap. Leaving the location, I'm okay.
Howley disentangles from your arm, opens up the back door leading inside the vehicle, and you see a simple black interior. After you.
And she will thank you and slide into the back seat as instructed. Because as far as anybody knows, she is still under the control of Madame Archon. Which she hasn't been at all.
Howley gets in beside you.
Mm-hmm.
He speaks out, you can take us to Center Street, just right next to the bow. And the vehicle starts taking off.
Is this my first time properly meeting Howley?
You have met Howley within Elysium before, but this is your first real discussion. Most other business was always done through Liam.
How does do I know how he prefers to be referred to as? Does he like to be called Primogen? Does he prefer Mr. Howley?
You don't know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, Miss Lupe, it seems as if you've gotten yourself into quite the situation, haven't you?
Investigating the death of Prince Strathcona has been challenging, yes.
That's what that bastard LePage has you doing, isn't it?
He wants to know what happened to him, I assume to cover himself from blame.
I thought you were done being used.
Well, I was promised quite the boon in exchange for completing this one job.
There's something I never understood about you. You're capable. Powerful. Beautiful. And you can seemingly move through any of the upper and lower circles of vampiric and mortal society. Why do you let yourself be shackled?
She smiles a little bit. Mr. Howley, if I may, unless you prefer Primogen.
Duncan's fine.
Duncan, then. As I said to Madame Archon, LePage is clay, and I don't intend to stay for long. I will prove my usefulness, get my boon, and examine my next step, given I have eternity to do so. I am also curious as to what happened.
What is he offering you?
Sort of. A boon of my choice, I have reserved the right to ask. Because when I get the answer, I am looking forward to getting quite a lot from him. As you might expect from someone so capable, so powerful, who can move through circles with ease. I expect I cannot lie to you, Duncan, so...
Well, no, you can.
There's no point.
I understand that the Ivory Tower has its flaws. I recognize that it is appealing to go and rail against the elders and to spite those that would use you. But if you would, we would have you back.
May I ask why? Is it because of my usefulness?
When you left, you took 2 very enterprising kindred with you in the form of Deacon and December. Very capable individuals. Trevor LePage could be replaced by December in short order. Damon is still under the thumb of Deacon. And our good Toreador could very easily be replaced by you. Hell, you could be Prince. And Liam is a mess. Liam is a disaster right now. He is my mess.
What do you mean by that?
He's making a series of unfortunate decisions. No, he hasn't. I don't know if he wants you. I don't know if he wants you back. I have no idea. I can't get 2 words out of him.
She just kind of scoffs. He should have thought of that before he did what he did.
I suppose he should have.
It's the consequences of his own actions.
He's holding it together. And he seems to be getting better, but when you and yours left, it left quite the void.
I did not force Deacon or December to make the decisions they did. It seemed fortuitous that it all happened within the similar time frame. Perhaps they saw the same opportunity I did. I know them well now, but before? She shrugs. It certainly wasn't coordinated, if that's what you're thinking. I'm sure they had their own reasons.
That is what I was thinking.
Well, it's not.
So...
I left for myself, Duncan.
That's what I'm worried about.
What is it with Kindred Society here, and always wanting me to be under thumb?
That is sort of how we work.
Do you know they call me the breaker of chains or some stupid title like that because I don't like chains. But if you want me on the throne, that's more chains. I don't want those either.
Do you think that you're going to escape it by running to the Anarchs?
Personally, it is a means to an end. They know it. Of course they do. Everybody is a means to an end in this life, this unlife. But they have not done me wrong. So for now, unless you have a really good reason to bring me back, I expect this will be a short conversation.
I am hoping that you will see reason and you will return under the auspices of no longer needing to be beholden to your lover, of no longer needing to be beholden to a primogen. You will be seen as a full member of the court, potentially in a seat of some authority. If that is not the case, I do not relish this fact. If you and your Baron do not find a way to escape being the scapegoat of the Ivory Tower for the death of Kyle Strathcona, there is hell coming, a great hunt. The Archon is here to do an investigation. On paper, my good friend Grafton seems to be trying to discover who exactly killed Kyle Strathcona. No, we don't play those games. They're looking to eliminate anyone that has any reason to assume that it was anyone within the Camarilla. They want to have it thrown upon the Anarchs, and you will all burn.
Do I need to make the decision immediately, or can I have a few nights to think about it?
You can have as long as you want. You'll know if it becomes too late.
Thing is, I haven't ruled out LePage yet. But, and I told the Archon this, if someone could find the strange Malkavian that was supposedly there, not a primogen, you'd probably have your culprit, the one to blame. And I don't mean the primogen, and I don't mean the whip. Someone else. That is all I know. And I told her this.
Right.
And I know, the Ivory Tower is never interested in who is truly guilty. If you can find someone, just find someone to blame, right?
Right.
I'm sorry that this has to be our first true conversation, as you are quite lovely to talk to, I must admit. More polite than most Nosferatu that I have talked to. Not that I dislike the Nosferatu.
We are prickly. It's true.
I find you all quite interesting.
Have you met Xander?
Have I met Xander?
That name does not ring a bell.
No?
No?
Should I have?
He's a good friend of your compatriot uptown. He's someone that I have quite the history with. Very useful, very chaotic, very strange.
I remember a mention of a strange Nosferatu, but I wasn't given a name. I didn't meet them, though.
Right. Ask Longtooth about him. He knows him too. Hell, you could ask Lester. I am good friends with Longtooth.
Lester, I try not to call unless I need his services, which I have not yet. Thankfully.
So say we all.
Oh, Lester the Digester. Oh, so interesting.
Well, if you can ever have a conversation with Xander, he might be able to point you to your little Malkavian.
Interesting.
My offer will stand for as long as it is not dangerous to maintain the offer. Should things go terribly here, you will never see me again.
Hold on. Yes, you have been reported as missing. So imagine my surprise to find you here.
I have been attending the Archon. Someone had to.
Well, what is the destination of this little ride? Is there something else you need to show me?
I think it's rather important for you to see consequences.
Okay.
At that point, Lupe, you see out the window the orange dancing light of a flame coming from a street adjacent. You grow closer, and your heightened vampiric senses pick up the acrid smell of hot concrete, melting plastics, burning electrical. There is a building somewhere nearby burning.
Is it a building I know?
You turn around the corner, the driver slows to a crawl, and you see a burnt out husk of the office building of one Liam Claret. One of the several businesses that he owned.
Above table, am I aware that he was buying businesses and putting them in my name?
You had
Did I know about that?
you still have no real idea.
So, I don't understand the significance of
This
whatever.
this is a business that he owns. You know that he owned this business. This is a place that you two would go and conduct business within. This has no connection to what was said to Damien or to Deacon.
Consequences. What did he do?
Inside that building is a collection of ghouls that were owned by many of the members of the Anarch Court.
She shakes her head because she doesn't understand.
Your lover, Liam, it seems, is being contracted as an executor of Anarch agents within the city. That means he is going to be the one to blame for all of this when things spark off. I am so sure that in a night or two, you will hear from the good Baron LePage about this incident. And you're going to have to make a choice.
She just kind of sighs, even though she doesn't need to. Because here she is, yet again, stuck with his mess. Where is Liam?
No one knows.
suppose. I have some work to do. And you're right, I should speak to Longtooth.
Where would you like to be? What?
About Nosferatu. Nosferatu first. Zact second.
The Ventru really like to tout themselves as this clan first. The Blue Bloods. Always. And then you dig just a little bit beneath the surface, and that's not the true connective sect. It's the cult of Mithras. And then you dig a little bit deeper, and then it's the primacy. And you dig a little bit deeper, and then it's the so on and so forth. Little pyramid scheme that they have going on. Similar to the Tremere. Tremere first, until they're eating each other. I respect the Gangrel, because at least you know they're out for themselves. And I respect the La Sombra, because you know they're out for each other. The Nosferatu stick together. Always.
Thank you for your honesty.
Where would you like to be dropped off, my dear?
If you happen to know where Longtooth is at, it would save me a phone call. Otherwise, I'll just give him a call. And you can drop me off wherever.
I can have him meet you wherever you'd like.
Excellent. He knows where my temple is. Have him meet me there.
You really should change those codes. And he drops you off at your club at the temple. And we are going to zoom out from Lupe. December. Where do we find you after all of the goings on? What is December investigating? Where do we find you? And what exactly is keeping December busy?
She's focused on some research in the shop. When she is in times of uncertainty, she returns to books. And right now, she's looking over books that will help her understand the rituals associated with the flask that Christian had that he wanted Lupe's blood for.
You can go ahead and give me a, we'll say, intelligence plus occult.
Four successes.
4 successes.
Yes.
That, in your hands, is what is known as a vessel of transference. It is old world magics used by rather lofty members of the Tremere to get around folks that are unbondable. It is also very convenient for handing off at a party. Oh, you bumped into someone, and suddenly you have a point of their blood. You bump into someone, suddenly a point of your blood is exchanged with theirs within the flask, and they are bonded, etc., etc. It exchanges 1 point of blood that is in the vessel for 1 that is in the target. Physical contact must be made. But your grimoire points out every rune, every detail, every etching, and every material that is on this flask. You know verifiably what you hold. It is invaluable. The most interesting part is, contrary to what many believe, the vessel is mutable. With concerted effort and significant ritual, you can change the shape to what you need it to be. On one night, it'll be a goblet. On another, a bottle of wine. On another night, it can be a flask. On another, it could be a simple glass. And with a little coat of paint, you can hide all of the occult details upon it, and, well, you could pass it off as a simple drinking vessel. So, what you hold is likely some lofty Tremere elder's prized possession.
Does it have blood in it?
You've touched this many times, and you give it a slosh. There is a point of blood within this flask.
I'd like to taste it. I'd like to know some information about it. Just a drop.
Of course. I think I know what you're doing.
A taste for blood.
Fantastic. I believe that is
Resolve blood sorcery.
resolve and blood sorcery?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Go ahead and give me that roll.
3 successes.
The blood belongs to a vampire. Seems to be of some potency. Swirl it around in your mouth a little. You taste those resonances, the power behind it. You're not sure you've ever tasted blood this strong before. Gets a little heady. This can't be anything less than potency 4. And that's about all you get.
At the completion of this research, the flask goes in the safe, where the rarest and most protected materials of her collection live.
Smart. You hear the chime of the door of the shop opening downstairs. You hear a muffled, "Hello? Hello? Is anyone here?"
I had to check in on it because that is a little more urgency than anyone kind would come into the shop with.
You run downstairs, and you see a man of about 30, 35, scruffy beard, blue jeans, plaid shirt, light overcoat. He's got curly brown hair coming down to his shoulders, strong brow, very average kind of looking individual. He sees you come down the stairs. You're the owner of the shop, right?
Yes, what is it that you're looking for here?
You see a look of consternation go across the man's face. And then he pulls out a gun, and that's initiative.
Well,
What is your
Storyteller
wits?
question.
Yeah, please.
Is this around the downtime in where Texas would be coming to pick up December for the motorcycle ride?
I like that idea. And so I'm going to allow Texas. I like the idea of Texas having very ear to the ground gut feelings when it comes to the circumstances that surround his friends and loved ones. You go ahead and you give me a wits plus streetwise, and we'll see exactly what that gets you.
can you remind me what initiative is?
Wits plus dexterity.
Thank you.
Just the raw score.
4.
You don't roll.
I knew.
Yeah.
I knew putting something in Streetwise would eventually help me.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
away we go. 3
Golden
successes.
bone. 3 successes. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Tremendous. We will come back to that. December, you see him reach and pull out a pistol and then go to raise it at you. However, December is a very sharp individual, incredibly alert. You have 1 initiative. What would you like to do in response?
What a great question. From looking at him, can I tell whether this is, whether this is regular person on a mission of someone else's bidding or a more supernatural?
That is a very, very hard thing to tell. That is an incredibly hard thing to tell. I will ask for an intelligence plus awareness.
Okay. Wait. Yeah. 3 successes.
3 successes?
Yeah.
Hard to tell. Truly. Could have been somebody that was just paid off. You don't know.
Okay. So I'll say that her instinct would be she's on her way down the stairs to rush down them. Her idea is get close enough to either get too close to shoot or close enough to continue going downstairs, which there is more resources of hers there.
Tremendous. You will spend... I will ask, in order to make it harder for you to be shot at, I am going to ask for a dexterity plus athletics.
Okay. Not good at that, so if I fall down the stairs, it'll be hilarious.
You might get down them
Yeah.
faster.
Definitely fall down the stairs. That is no success.
No successes. Okay. So...
I rolled 2 hunger dice.
Oh... That is a messy failure. That is a bestial failure. Is what that is. That is quite okay. So we're not gonna paint December as like a bumbling fool that falls down the stairs. That's very funny, but I cannot imagine as a composed and articulate and agile individual that December is. Like, you are still the living dead. Unfortunately, this has definitely caught December by surprise. This is your sanctum. This is your sanctuary. There are very few supernatural entities that know that this place exists under your control. It is your friends and coterie, and then a chill runs down your spine. And Christian Lavalle. And you hear the firing of a gun. The flash of the muzzle goes off. December, can I please have you take 4 normal damage? Or is it lethal? I'm so bad.
Superficial.
Superficial, yeah. 4 superficial
And
damage, yeah.
Superficial is
that
halved
means
against
different.
vampires unless otherwise stated.
Right, yeah.
For
So
what
it
it's
would be
worth.
it would be 2.
Okay. Thank you.
2 shots ring out. One of them passes through your body. You feel the hot splatter of dead flesh ripping out of your body. However, Texas, what are you thinking as you're driving less than half a block outside of December's shop?
I spend most every night beneath the light of the neon. It's just,
Hell yeah,
just
hell yeah.
going for it.
Yeah.
I don't think he thinks something. I think he smells something off.
Ooh. Okay.
Like as he gets closer to the shop, the air is more potent.
Yeah.
And I think there's the faintest wisp of gunpowder, which is like, hold on. It's fucking Canada. Nobody around here has a gun.
It's at that moment that you, in that moment of doubt, that you hear that gunshot go off.
How far would you say that I am in that moment?
Maybe 100 meters.
Oh, okay. Full send gun, large rev, to the point to where he's worried and concerned. He's going to do something that is sacrilege, but he is going to jump off his bike, let it slide across the snow as he tears to the door. Trust me, I'm clutching my pearls too.
Okay. Can I please get you to roll me a dexterity plus athletics?
I heard dexterity athletics.
Yes.
Can I counter that with a soaring leap from the bike to the door?
Yes, you can.
Perfect. And, well, mid-thought as he soars through the air, I mean, well, I did give her $10,000. That's fine. I'm going to bust through that door in the middle of the soaring leap.
As the glass shatters, the frame of the door buckles, and the interior of the shop is sprayed with the debris. December, you see Texas standing triumphant behind this individual wielding the gun. Texas, you see this mousy, average-looking man standing there in his plaid and his blue jeans, gun pointed right at your coterie mate. What do you do?
I grab the wrist of his shooting hand, and I immediately crush it.
I assume that you're using lethal body.
Yeah, it's one of those you see Texas like blast through the door. He tumbles and he stands up and he's like, "Sorry, that's not proper gun safety." Grabs it and crushes his wrist, and he goes, "Now what you really need to do is you need to make sure you point it away from somebody unless you intend to shoot. And I hope that's not what you decide to do." As he continues to crush this wrist.
The man screams out in pain. The gun drops. The snapping,
Right.
the crunch, the rip of flesh, the crunching of bone. This man roars.
Now, all that yelling and screaming is completely unnecessary. I grab they have hair, right?
Sure do.
Grab them by the top of their hair. I hold their head up and I point it towards Miss December and I go, now you apologize.
Can I please get you to make a manipulation plus intimidation?
Sure. Remind me what rousing the blood does?
You have to make a hunger check, and whether or not you succeed, you gain your blood potency in extra dice for the roll.
I'm going to choose to fail and get hungry.
Okay.
And to get the dice. Okay, 6 successes.
6 successes.
Is that a critical?
No, just six. Just regular, run-of-the-mill successes.
There's very little that breaks through supernatural coercion. You see the man reach through all of this pain and all of this panic, all of this terror, his arm bleeding, you, this apex, supernaturally strong predator holding him by the hair and the arm. He still goes to reach for another pistol that is on his ankle and then stops. His hand starts to shake, and you hear this quavering voice come out of him. He says, I can't stop myself. I can't stop myself. You need to help me. You need to help me, please. Please, he told me to do it. I can't stop. I can't stop. I don't want to shoot this girl. I don't want to fucking shoot this girl. Please, please, just fucking help me. Stop. Just let me stop.
It's fine. Hey, shut up before I fucking snap your neck. I'm going to take this. And I take the pistol from off of his ankle, and I put it in my pocket, because it's been hell trying to find a nice gun. Miss December, I think this is more your expertise. I'll hold him here while you do what you can. I think our friend's influenced by somebody.
Right. Let me take a look at him, and you can see December is slightly injured, but how significant of an injury is this?
Truly nothing in the grand scheme of things. It burns a little bit, but truly it's a hole about the size of a pinky finger through your body. It's right through the torso. It goes like underneath the breast, through the ribs, out the back. It's not anything that's going to be much more than an inconvenience and a change of garments. You could rouse the blood and heal it fairly easily if you needed to.
So she just wraps her robe over it for now and gets closer to this man.
Texas does this. He's like, sorry.
There's more important things to worry about right now. Don't you worry about it. The hand injury. Is any part of that bleeding?
Oh yeah, 100%. Broken bone sticking through the skin. A rather savage wound brought on by like a supernatural vice grip.
Sorry, the dog is being an asshole. Okay, so just going to... Sorry, you'll have to give me a minute.
That's okay. In the meantime,
While we're waiting for my friend to gather up the tools to help you, how about a name? Let's start with that, friend.
My name. And he's like looking down at his like shattered arm. You can see his skin starting to go pale. He's starting to really lose himself here as this happens, and he just says, My name's Curtis. I live on 49th Street. I hang out at the Masons. This is how I met Lavali.
You met who? What was that?
Mr. Lavali.
Mr. Lavali.
And as these words are starting to come through, that's when December will intervene with her truth of blood and begin to verify the accuracy of what he says as we, question him.
Yeah, you're going to be trying to rip out that truth. Okay. Tremendous.
Yeah, so if I can collect enough blood, which I believe is a
Oh,
pint,
definitely easily enough, yeah. Go ahead and give me that check.
Don't know what it's. Hang on a sec. Pull up what I do be.
I think all ritual rolls are intelligence and occult, but I could be wrong.
Intelligence, blood, sorcery.
There it
Intelligence
is.
plus sorcery, yeah.
Okay, so that is 6. Un momento. Four successes.
4 successes.
Yeah.
What he says about Lavali is the truth.
Looks at December. All right. So, your friend Lavali told you to come here and kill Miss December. Is that my understanding?
No. He wasn't. I wasn't. You see, he's like really starting to fade. Like the pain is excruciating. It wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't her. I wasn't. It wasn't supposed to be her here. It was supposed to be all these other people. A bunch of humans. It's supposed to be her herd, is what he said, or the blood. And then after they were gonna get me, I was gonna let them.
You were after the coven?
I don't know. They were gonna be upstairs. I don't know.
Are you alone?
When were you told?
It was
Answer her
yesterday.
question first. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Are you by yourself, or are there other people? Because I can imagine that you were just supposed to come out and take out a group of folks.
It's just me. It's only me.
Fine. It's fine. And when you were done doing this, what were you supposed to do next?
You see his eyes go like wide. His face goes totally pale. I was supposed to die.
Right. Supposed to die. Mrs. Ember, I'm awfully hungry, but I have a feeling that this probably wouldn't be the best time to have a snack. Are there any other questions that you have for this person?
Yes, but let me ponder on these ones first. I am trying to understand if each time I use this
It's for each question, yeah.
I have to roll it. Okay, do I have to roll for each question?
You do.
Okay, got it. Let me go for then the timing. 3 successes.
It does seem that way, yes.
Okay.
He is telling the truth.
And then
Here's the strange bit about that one, though. There's some details about yesterday that he is remembering and you're getting images of through the ritual. You know that you get certain details that they might forget. It needed to be at 3:33 a.m.
Is there ritual significance that I would notice to this timing?
Give me an intelligence plus occult.
Okay. Three successes.
You got willpower if you need it.
Oh, that's actually a great idea. Let me use willpower, and that is now 4 successes.
There isn't any ritual significance that you know of for the time of 3:33 outside of mundane mortal traditions. There's nothing supernaturally attached to it as far as you know.
Okay. Filing that away for later research. And then the other question was...
Was he alone?
Oh, yes. So let me do that one and then one more. That one. Let me use a willpower because that was very bad. Oh, that's much better. Okay, 4 successes.
4 successes. He was alone, but again, you pull back a little bit of that veil. He's alone now, but you see in his mind's eye as he recalls being coerced by Lavali that there were 3 other individuals. All masked, all robed.
Three who were assisting with Lavali, or 3 who were being instructed?
They were the ones being instructed. They were a part of the ritual of coercion.
So December will say to Texas, listen for anything strange. There may be more. Maybe 2 more. Not sure when.
All right. And this one? What do you decide?
Okay. Question.
Mm-hmm.
Based off of the power of the compulsion that he seems to be under.
Yes.
Does December feel like her own blood would be helpful in breaking through this and kind of temporarily neutralizing this danger, or more extreme measures would need to be taken to keep him from continuing on this?
Your blood will have very little bearing. Unless you ritualistically bond him and make him into a ghoul.
not worth the effort or time right now. So we'll say, Texas, we need to dispose of him and maybe return to La Valley. Return him to La Valley after.
Texas gives you this look like he has fallen in love with you right now. And he goes, I'll figure something out. And I start to drag this dude out by his collar through the door. When we get outside though, storyteller, I get him over to my bike and I go, son, you ruined my date. I want you to know that. But I'm a little gracious tonight, as I'm pretty sure if I do what I want to do, I'd be in a lot of shit. So this is how we're gonna play this, friend. And I'm gonna turn on Daunt.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go, there is a million other places where you'd rather be right now. But the safest place is definitely away from my sight. So here, you take your little pistol, right? And if you don't want me following you, you get as far as you come from here, and you use that pistol.
Roll me in manipulation plus intimidation.
Before we do that, check. Cool. Manipulation to what, I'm sorry?
Intimidation.
And add your presence rating, because Daunt is active.
Why can I not read? Ian. There it is. Okay. Solid. Need to figure that out. What's an Ankh with 2 stars?
That's a crit.
That is a crit.
Yeah, I got 3 successes with a crit. I need 2 crit for it to be a thing, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess just 3 successes.
3 successes? Okay. This man has lost a lot of blood. He has been recently dominated to essentially commit to something very similar to this. He's in a tremendous amount of pain. Without getting too intensely graphic in this moment, you see this man trot off. You hear the steps. He simply runs away from you. He ducks around into a dark corner in an alley. And then you hear a gunshot.
Fine. My damn back!
We are going to zoom out from Texas in December. Where do we find Uptown?
I was going to say, before we do that, do we want to take a human break?
Ooh, it's bio break. Yeah, sorry, I was going for 8:30. We are 4 minutes off of that. So, yes, we will take a quick human break, actually. That makes perfect sense. Hi there, everybody. We are Another World Tabletop. We tell stories on the internet and stuff like that, and we're here tonight bringing you Chapter 5 of Sanguine Dominion. Sign up for the Discord. Hang out and follow us on all the socials. You can find me at StoryDad, or you can find Another World Tabletop all over the internet, telling stories and doing that whole thing. We will be back in a hot 10 minutes, but while we're gone, go tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your local congressperson, tell your garbage collector, tell your mail person, tell literally every single person in the world that you can think of that we are here on the internet telling vampire stories. Thank you so much, and we will see you very soon. We are going to zoom in on Uptown. Uptown, where do we find you?
Uptown is still asleep, late in the day, shortly before he is supposed to awaken for the evening. And if he were awake, he would feel the cold sweat as the terrors in his dreams speak. There are several voices. They only ever repeat the same thing over and over again. And the voices speak thus. Behold, she who thought of nothing but her own fleeting pleasure shall by her own pleasure be enslaved. He who claimed innocence because the beast ruled him shall be slave to the beast forever. He who reveled in the darkness of his own foul hunger shall be bound to that darkness forever, kin to the most vile, accursed by God. Behold my most foolish child, who claims madness for his pleasure. Let him become mad in truth, so that all may fear his company. From among their garden of weeds, then it will be their own souls they destroy. And if the day comes when you fail to value the gift that I have given, then shall that same mark be turned against you. And those who gaze with jealousy upon you will surely hunt you down. And finally, behold my loveless child, who fed upon his brother's pain. Let him know equal torment in any but his own domain. 6 voices speaking in unison, the exact same way that Christian LaValle did in that meeting, but Uptown has no knowledge of that. It is biblical, occult, entirely alien to Uptown's personhood, identity, and knowledge. But he cannot help but spring from his slumber, terrified of these voices speaking in unison. And he is certain that if he were not part of the clan who are mad, he would not be able to separate them from each other. He wakes. Cold blood sweat. He looks down at his sheets. What the fuck is happening to me?
Would Modi
gets
be
up.
present? Not like in the room, but...
I think Modi would be hanging around at this point. Uptown would have taken the time to, like, get him all basically assimilated into Uptown's entire operation and deal. He's not fully on the level. He doesn't know everything yet, but
Right.
Uptown is working on the process of blood bonding and deconditioning and all of that sort of thing.
You hear outside the room.
Yeah, come in, Modi.
You sure? You sounded like you were having a moment.
No, it's fine. Come in.
Okay.
Modi walks in.
Uptown's balling up the sheets.
That normal for you?
No. Cold sweat. Nightmares.
You look disgusting.
Thanks. I know.
Do you need me to do your
wanna-
laundry?
No, man.
I can get
just
blood out of sheets. Don't make it weird.
I was just gonna throw these out. They're white.
You're just going to throw your blood into the trash?
Yeah, on contact with sunlight, it'll turn into ash.
Awesome. We have an entire evening. Listen, I thought you were the paranoid one. Let me bleach them. Then I'll throw
Okay,
them out.
fine.
Jeez.
Yes, please do.
My goodness.
Yeah.
What was going on? You sounded like LaValle.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, he'd wake up in cold sweats, freaking out, screaming, shrieking. Ever since, the deed.
What deed?
Like when he ate the dude. Kyle.
Fucking LaValle diablerized Kyle Strathcona?
Maybe. I don't know. That's the rumor.
Did he do some fucking occult mumbo jumbo? I understand the ridiculousness of asking that question about a Tremere Elder. Was it occult mumbo jumbo that's weirder than the normal stuff they do?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
I was walking over to his desk and writing down the words that he heard in his dream.
Well, I wasn't... He kept me in the dark for most of it. You know what I mean? He wasn't really...
Yeah, he's a canny elder shithead who doesn't value human life other than for what it can do for him.
Yeah, but I heard some shit when he was waking up. The Chantry is, first of all, creepiest place I've ever stayed. But he, every so often, when he's shrieking it, even, soundproof walls. Ugh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this is the words that I was hearing. There were figures speaking to me these words like they were personal.
Deuteronomy?
No, that's not it.
Oh. Leviticus? He starts listing off books. He's like...
No, it's none of the books in the Bible. I went to church as a kid. It's nothing like that.
I don't know. It looks like it to me.
He shows Modi what the words were. He's like, these don't really fucking mean anything to me. Do you know what this is about?
Seems pretty Bible-y to me. Bible adjacent.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, that kind of looks like Sedite.
Wait, what?
Yeah. LaValle had a weird interest with those with the serpents. He was always trying to deconstruct whatever prophecies or whatever mumbo jumbo they were slinging, because who knows when a prophecy's true, or you can glean whatever out of it, and they're not like Malkavians. They're pulling it out of the stars or from the serpent's mouth or whatever the hell it is. And so LaValle would, he would be dissecting. He'd have me translate hieroglyphs and old ancient. I've read more Enochian than I've read English at this point.
That is very good to know.
Okay.
Now that you're not bloodbound, do you still feel like you're bloodbound or dominated by Christian? Is there still any lingering shit left of that?
LaValle wasn't always like this. I don't hate him. I know he did you dirty. I get it. I definitely get it.
For sure.
He's not a good guy.
No.
It's just... Yeah, something changed after that night. Pretty viscerally. He started getting a lot more callous. A lot more absent. He was, he started getting sloppy, making mistakes. He'd screw up 1 in 3 rituals, wrong measurements, using the wrong blood. It was odd. He wasn't himself. And then...
I've heard stories. They're fucking ghost stories, but I mean, I never thought there was any truth to them, but
yeah,
it's said that when one of us does the forbidden slurp,
the what?
If they aren't the thing you were talking about, him eating Kyle.
Diablerie.
Yes, the forbidden slurp.
Don't call it that.
Why?
That's gross.
I know.
That's disgusting. You're gross. That's gross.
Oh, did you not know that I'm fucking gross?
Can you not?
Oh, Modi, we're going to have so much fun. Anyways, back to my original point.
Yeah.
When one of us does that, I've heard ghost stories
okay.
of people doing it to kindred way older than themselves,
Right.
and the process fucking up. And it's not them entirely anymore. A piece of whoever they consume starts to sink its teeth in and take over.
Okay.
Do you think it's possible that LaValle actually did it, but he did it incompletely?
I'm a ghoul.
Fuck. I need to talk to people.
What are you fucking talking about? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Right.
Is the answer.
Puts it in his jacket. All right, we need to talk to December or Lupe or somebody who knows about that kind of shit. That could wait.
You should probably talk to Lupe. Lupe was the one that LaValle was fucking obsessed with.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, he was using December to get to Lupe and get her blood.
Well, I was also thinking December because she knows about the occult and rituals and all of that kind of stuff. So if you're telling me I'm sounding like LaValle used to,
yeah,
then I need to know that I'm clean and that whatever he's got in him isn't fucking leaching out and onto me. You know what I mean? I need to know that he didn't give me a psychic STD.
I think you already have one.
You feel me? No. Here's the thing. I don't think I'm feeling any different than I was before it happened, but then again, would I really know?
You were embraced by a Malkavian. You already have nothing great.
All right. By the power vested in me by a developed prefrontal cortex, I guess we're gonna go see Lupe.
Well, you don't have to. I'm the ghoul, man.
And?
I don't know. It seems like you like getting told what to do. Is that what's up?
Shut the fuck up, Modi. I'm gonna give you a swirly in the sludge in the bottom of the recycling bin if you ever say that shit to me again.
He looks you in the eye. He's like, don't bully me, I'll come.
I'm fucking down. All right, then I'm not gonna give you that. What now?
Bye.
What the fuck does Uptown attract? Every single person outside of the coterie is like this. Jesus
all right.
fucking Christ.
Modi's a bottom, confirmed.
Yes. All right. Uptown is kind of just like, oh, for fuck's sake. All right. I need to see Lupe. I want to talk to December and get her opinion because I value it. Who am I going to go see first? Modi, do you know how to drive?
Yes?
All right, you're driving. And Uptown tosses him a set of keys. Let's go.
Why don't you just get the coterie together?
I mean, I could, yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I have a sneaking suspicion that they're already on the way to do that right now. So
how would you know
I'm
that?
Not sure. Gut instinct. Everything sucks right now. I'm certain they had that
What do you
meeting with
mean?
the Archon.
Everything's great.
The entire domain is in chaos. Which, I mean, I like, but that doesn't make it good. You know what I mean?
No, because, like, I don't have the Tremere Primogen breathing down my neck. You're
Yeah, I suppose
not the worst, and, like...
Yeah. I'm really not.
Very
Everyone
little
assumes
attention's
I
being
am.
paid to me, and, like, I get superpowers, essentially. This is great. I'm having a great time.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
right. Do you want to learn a new power, by the way?
No.
I don't know if... what do you got?
Well, I already have what LaValle gave me.
Yeah, which is?
Sorcery, baby.
You have fucking blood sorcery?
Oh, yeah.
Which one?
He taught me that good. He's like, I got 2.
What can you do?
Well, I can melt stuff, so that's all well and good. And I can also burn people. I can burn people's blood out of their body, too. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Modi's
All right,
cool now.
I'm with you. Everything's good forever now.
I know.
At least for right now. Yeah,
I
all
know.
right, Modi, let's fucking roll.
Yeah, let's roll out. I'm driving.
I already threw you the keys.
We're taking my whip.
What do you got?
I don't know, better than what you got.
Prove it.
Okay. And you rock outside. And you head down to the park.
Drive?
What does Modi drive? What does Modi drive? Modi drives
question of the night.
Modi drives a completely tricked out G-Wagon with gold rims.
Uptown, the secret agent inside Uptown is screeching at the top of its lungs that this is the worst idea ever. But the fact that he's a part of the Anarchs and just stole a Tremir's Ghoul that has this car tells him, okay, you know what? We got to do this at least once.
Tremendous.
Yeah.
Modi says, just before you take off and then zoom out, you know, if you ever have the time, we can also talk about what other services I can render. Before I was a ghoul, I worked in the tech sector for like a really long time. That's why I'm so good with blood sorcery. It's because motherboards look a lot like occult sigils. And I don't know, something just clicked in my brain. So, you know, if you ever need a little black hat, I'm your guy.
Uptown in his head is like, this guy is so cool, but I can't say that out loud.
He looks you in the eye and he's like, tell me I'm cool.
Uptown pulls his wallet out, takes several hundreds, and hands them to him. Get yourself geared up. We got work to do.
I'm going to take your money, but I want you to know that there's nothing I need less than more money.
Let me feel cool buying the gear for the jobs we're going to do.
Uptown, you're not cool.
I was a secret agent in life.
Were you? Yeah, that's so cool. A G-man. Yeah, you're so great. I'm glad that Uncle Sam or whatever the fucking Canadian equivalent is hired you to go and do its dirty work. That's really cool, you fucking bootlicker. Let's go. And we're going to zoom out. One sec.
We've made several mistakes by putting them together.
I love Modi so much. They're the new
I don't think we've made any mistakes putting them together. I think this is great.
It's fantastic.
Okay, we are going to zoom out from Uptown, and we are going to zoom in on Lupe.
Oh, okay.
We are at the temple. This is not an auspicious evening. This is not a grand event or anything like that. This is a private audience for yourself and Longtooth.
My boy. My disgusting man. I love
You
him so much.
arrive, and a short while later, you hear a polite knock on the temple doors.
Knowing who it is, she'll open the door herself. Since there's nobody here to witness her doing something for herself.
You see standing behind the doors a chiseled Adonis-like 8-pack, veiny four-armed, absolute god of a man. And you hear a husky voice come from outside of the chiseled jaw. Hey baby, I came just in time. And then you see it all melt away, and you see the scraggly, greasy-haired Longtooth standing there.
Tell me that's what you looked like when you were alive.
Unfortunately not.
She'll step aside and allow him to enter.
He walks in. He goes and he takes his favorite seat.
Thanks for knocking this time instead of breaking my locks, although you may notice that I did upgrade them in the interim time.
Almost good enough to keep me out.
Almost. Good enough to keep everybody else out.
Yeah, there's not many that could get past you now. So, what's the occasion?
Well, you said you wanted updates on what LePage is doing. You wanted to know what was going on. I assume you already know everything Howley knows, which is everything the Archon knows, or am I wrong?
I know a bit about what Howley knows. That's true. I don't know everything that the Archon knows, though. Howley has been sworn to some sort of secrecy about some details, and that leads me to be a little bit in the dark.
Oh, well, I have made no such promises, so. And I will proceed to tell him everything I have seen, everything I have learned, everything Howley has told me, because Nosferatu put each other first. So I don't think it would be too much of a slight to tell Longtooth this, because Howley literally told me to. And that was what I was going to do anyway. So I tell him everything, long and short of it.
He sits there. He takes out a physical notepad, and he's just...
Oh, right. You write everything down, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
So, you say LePage isn't who he thinks, who he says he is.
Seems that way, yep. Getting more and more sure of that every day.
It's strange. Sometimes when he sees the coterie, he seems very real, very trustworthy, and at other times, I'm not so sure. I don't know what to do with that, because I don't really have proof.
Me either.
Feeling. Wow.
So, if I'm getting this right, and he starts going through, like, sequences of events. So, LePage, he's told you and yours to go and hunt down so-and-so. We knew that already.
Yep.
Now, you turned up certain things about Lavali and about the whole situation with the prince. Apparently, you're talking about how there was Primogen there, top to bottom. And now there's this mysterious Malkavian. That I didn't know. I don't know who this fucking Malkavian is. I don't have a clue who that Malkavian is. I didn't know there was anyone else there. I thought it was the Primogen, a couple whips, and a ghoul named fucking Modi. And that was it.
Modi was there.
Modi was there. Lavali loves Modi. I don't know why.
Interesting.
So, there's this Malkavian, right? And now you've met with the Archon.
Yes.
What the fuck is her deal?
Well, it seems she, I would expect, is going to find somebody to blame for all of this if she doesn't find who's actually responsible, and might blame someone even if she does. Because that's what the Cam do.
She came knocking on my door. She found out where my fucking haven was.
She knows an awful lot, doesn't she?
It's unfortunate.
She thinks she owns me, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's fucking cute. Yeah, the breaker of chains being fucking strung up by a Toreador, right? She couldn't even find me.
The term was Sanguine Chainbreaker, but, you know.
Oh.
She apparently couldn't find me on my own, either.
Yeah. Well, she came knocking on my door.
That sounds very unlikely. But I believe you. I'm just surprised that she would know.
I have a suspicion about Howley. I think he's fucking compromised. I think he owes somebody fucking big time. And there's only one person in this city that doesn't seem to have screws to their thumbs when it comes to fucking Strathcona being killed. And that's fucking Howley. He gets to walk around as the personal escort to Grafton herself. So you tell me what that looks like.
I wonder if he knows who did it and is covering.
I think one of them does. And I think regardless of whether or not Howley does, I think that slimy piece of shit's bought and paid for.
Maybe he doesn't want to be. Otherwise, why would he encourage me to tell you everything?
Yeah, that don't add up. That don't fucking add up. Could be blackmail.
It could be. And apparently Liam is hunting Anarch ghouls?
No. Liam? Pretty boy Liam?
Extremely out of character, I know.
No. Hey, listen, I know you two had bad blood. I get it. Like I heard why you left.
She makes a little bit of a face. Doesn't actually try to hide it.
I'm not trying to pry. Like we talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got ears everywhere. I'm not.
I know.
But Liam hasn't been good for a while. Like I get it, but he wouldn't do that. He's not one of the bad ones.
Howley implied that to me and showed me the burning building. And
What
I
building?
expect LePage is one of our office buildings. Which also doesn't make sense to me.
Why would he burn
I
out
don't
one of his
see-
own? What is he? That's crazy.
I don't see Liam burning our assets. He may be foolish at times, especially recently, but he's not that foolish.
No.
Nor is he one for violence,
No.
unless absolutely necessary. Something is not right.
Oh, fuck, eh? You think he's,
I need to find him. I don't want to, but I need to.
Well, give him time. He'll probably find you.
I will pull the strings I need to pull.
Yeah. If you need me to reach out, I can find him.
I have my own methods.
Okay.
But if those don't work, I will reach out to you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, shit. Wow, this gets tangled pretty quick, eh?
It does. My question to you,
Yeah.
what are we doing about LePage? It has been implied to me numerous times that he needs to be dethroned and replaced. I was offered the prince's seat tonight.
From the Archon?
Actually. From Howley.
Oh, he can't give you that.
The Archon took quite the shine to me.
Yeah, she would. That makes sense.
Of course she would. Toreador loved beautiful things, and that is what I am. She's dead serious. She's not laughing about that.
No. All right.
Neither are we.
So, let me get this straight. Kindred to Kindred.
Yeah.
You think LePage gotta go? You think he's actually gotta get, 86th?
Well, I don't really want to say that to the only person giving me safe haven right now. I don't know.
So here's the thing. You want to get rid of him? You think he's dangerous? You gotta win over his fucking toadies. You're gonna have to get Fox. You're gonna have to get Van Butte. You're gonna have to get Hank. You got me? There's a couple other elements. If you can get the will of the people behind you, that's how the Anarchs work.
Can I ask you why you think LePage isn't who he says he is?
Longtooth gets this very serious, appraising gaze towards you. This intense, scrutinizing, piecing you up and making 1,000 calculations at once. If you want me to tell you, I'm going to need some insurance.
And what kind of insurance would you like?
I need collateral.
Oh, I love collateral. What kind?
I think it's got to be a boon.
All right.
Okay. You give me a marker, and I'll tell you.
Okay. So that's just a physical symbol of the fact
Physical
that he has
representation of the boon, yeah.
Okay. I will take one of the rings off of my finger. One of my fingers. Not the Toreador ring.
Mm-hmm.
A different one.
Right.
And I will give it to him. It has a sigil etched into it on the inside of the band.
Mm-hmm.
That is specific to my use.
He takes it. He bites it.
It's gold.
Well, that's the real deal. All right. Well, fine. I was just making a show, but then he tucks it away. All right. I don't think there's only one LePage.
There we are. Mm-hmm.
How do you piece out that much territory that quickly? How do you take an entire fucking domain all at once? How are you in 30 different fucking places? There's a couple of fucking inconsistencies. It's minutes of time. Sure, on paper, maybe first-hand accounts could have been fucking wrong. Maybe they were off by a couple of minutes. He arrived here at this time, there at this time, made this call at this minute. Something doesn't fucking add up. I think there's more than one.
This is very good to know. If you find more, let me know. And if I find more, you know I'm going to tell you. We already have an arrangement.
Yeah.
If you see... this is a little off topic, but if you happen to see Lester, tell him I said hello.
Lester?
Yeah.
You hang out with Lester?
I know Lester.
Listen, I don't try to question Ministry on their freaky dalliances, but like Lester, it's not like that.
No.
Like, I'm gross. Lester's gross.
His services are reputable.
Yeah, no one does it like the digester. Good lord. All right. Yeah, if I
Not
mean,
as cool of a name as Longtooth, though. I'll tell you that.
my teeth aren't even that long. You know how I got this?
How?
It's just because I'm old. I'm long in the tooth. Yeah, it's so dumb. Yeah. And all the like, I've been around, so, like, we can get into it one day. I'm sure you got places to be, but I've been in this city since it was Sabbat. I survived that. Well, I was for a hot minute.
Wow.
Yeah. It was,
What do they call them? Grave diggers?
shovelheads.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't the shovelhead.
Interesting.
No, I was groomed. Soldier of Fortune, as it were, for a while.
I see.
Yeah. But it always kind of... Being in there was kind of like being in a bed full of sandpaper. So...
Well, the Serpent's Embrace is always available.
Yeah, well... I mean, to be honest, looking at the alternatives... You got a cozy place here. Not many people know about it. And when I come to you, I actually get information. And I don't have to fucking pay through the nose for it. And I don't get fucked around like Duncan. And I don't get dicked like I did with fucking Strathcona. And my boss, Mr. fucking Trevor LePage himself, isn't 6 fucking Malkavians in a trench coat or whatever the fuck he is. So... I don't know. I don't really align with a lot, but I just want... You know what I want? You know what I want out of all of this?
What?
I want a good 10 years. Just no war. No worrying. No destruction. I want the sheriff to not be a douchebag. I want the constable not to be a douchebag. I want the prince in charge, the baron, whoever the fuck it is, to not have 9 different vendettas against him from 30 different fucking kindred, all looking to be, top dog. Like, just 10 good years of that. 10 good years from that. I could get some reading in. It'd be nice. I'm so behind on Sanderson. God.
God damn it. You broke me with that one. Not the Sanderson reference. It's because I'm a Cosmere girly, chat. I'll take it under advisement.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. I know it's all tete-a-tete, but you don't have to show up when I call, but you do. I appreciate that. I remember things like that, and that's why a boon from me is worth more than boons from others. Mean it.
Liam and I go back a ways. And he always had a lot of good to say about you.
I should hope so.
And I wish I could have met when you two were on better terms. I think we could have really made a difference in the city.
I think you're right. I think if you didn't lose sight of what we were here for,
that's how it
it would
works.
have worked out a lot differently.
Call me if you need me.
I will.
And then you see him dip behind a pillar as he's walking out, and then he's just gone.
I remember what happened earlier with the heartbeat thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can I reach out?
In this moment, you're going to try to reach out?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to ask for a very strange roll.
I love strange rolls.
Can I please get you to roll just willpower?
Just willpower?
As many dots that you have in willpower, roll that many dice.
Okay.
This is outside of blood. This is outside of skill. This is outside of body. This is attempting a spiritual connection. There cannot be any rerolls on this.
I only had 3 die in the pool, and all of them were successes.
Oh. Okay.
Don't have to roll a crit in this Chronicle.
Not yet. Crits are a little more rare, but... Can you tell me what Lupe is trying to envision and what's going through her head in this moment? As you sit within your temple, trying to reach out to someone that you have lost touch with.
I think she's going to do something that they have talked about in a poetic sense. And simply try to reach out to him through the blood they share. And I think she gets a vision in her mind of a time when she was kind, reaching out to him and taking his hand.
In the theater of Lupe's mind, you call into that space a very distinct rooftop. You're a few blocks from the ocean. You smell sea spray and the smog of Los Angeles. You see the trellises and the plants that grow upon them lit up with incandescent lights. And you see the bench. And you see a little gift. And all of these parts of this set that you have held in your mind for decades and decades. It is a place of great importance. It is the place where you died. And you're looking around, and you're searching. There is something distinctly absent from this. And it is Liam. And then you feel it in your chest. Long dead. You feel that thrum, that throb of the heartbeat. Flushing skin, warming appendage, sending neurons firing in a long ossified brain. You see him as your heart beats once more, and in the span of that beat, standing there in a suit bespoke to him, luxury upon luxury, the most fine-looking individual that you have ever seen for all of the time that you were still working the club in LA. He was akin to a god to you, but on that night, he became your partner, your sire, your lover, and so much more. And he has a look of shock on his face as he looks at you sitting on the bench. Lupe?
Where are you?
Where are you?
Come back.
What do you mean? I'm right here.
Not here, darling.
I didn't leave.
Calgary.
And then he reaches out to brush your cheek, and you feel a phantom whisper upon your skin, and he just says, "Just come back. And then
First.
it's gone. As you say those words into the ether, it echoes out into the dark of your temple.
Don't have time to process that. Gotta go meet the coterie.
We are going to zoom out from Lupe. We're going to zoom in on the gang. Where is everyone going to be meeting for the all hands on deck little meetup? What is the location? If I was going to guess, let me throw a guess out there. Are we at the motorcycle club? Or are we at the Daryl is muted?
Yeah, my cohort Daryl right now is speechless, but I would say that would be nice.
Yeah, 100%.
Uptown just assumes.
Modi takes you to the MC.
Yeah, exactly.
100%. He's driving there anyway. He's like, we're going to the MC, right?
Yes, of course.
How about now?
I can hear you
There we
now.
go. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
If I'm the one calling this,
Yes.
it's not at the MC. It's not at the at the club. It is at my actual investigation office.
Oh, hot diggity fuck. All right. Yeah, we're gonna all right. So Modi says, actually, idiot, we would meet at the investigatory office. Duh.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Want a shovel, Modi?
Oh,
no.
That's what I thought. Drive, fucker.
Yeah. So how does Deacon get in touch with everybody?
I'm assuming. I doubt everyone here has just one phone.
Carrier pigeon. Got it.
Yeah. Well, if everyone just has a burner, they will
We
receive
have
a
coterie phone, and
yes.
then we have personal phone.
Yeah, we have their personal phone, and then they have the
Kevin
burner
Gates
phone
style.
that cannot be tracked. Yes.
I have 17. Every single one of them that has Deacon's number has his ringtone set to Pink Floyd's Money.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And even then,
Yeah.
he assumes it's either the smart track phones that you can buy in like a CVS or the Canadian equivalent, because he would want you to have access to like a Discord or a Kick or something like that, something that cannot be traced. And even if it can be traced, the government has a harder time to get into it. You'll receive a message through that, and it would just tell you, meet at my office. My actual office, like the one that is government, like is within the human realm. Meet at my office.
It's a rented space in the Sun Life Financial Building, downtown Calgary. It is a serious
Rented?
or bought, I guess, whatever. Here's the thing. When I say rented, it's more like they don't sell space there. It's like $3.5 million a year to rent it. Like it's rented, but like
sure,
only because if you get
it's
fucking
like I could build my own, and then I'm just like, it's cheap. It's honestly, I don't feel like paying the property tax every year, so I'll just rent this shit.
No. You're like, I don't want to put points and influences to change what the property taxes are.
I'm going to. I fully plan on maxing out my influence in the Kindred world, so I can get access to drones.
We'll move this along. Yes. We'll move this along. Everyone does arrive at the investigation office in downtown Calgary. You are surrounded by the towering structures of concrete and metal and glass, well-lit buildings in the most populous area of Calgary. You are escorted into the building. You go past security. You are eventually led to the office proper, and you find yourselves sitting amongst the coterie.
I am in the meeting room, and I'll tell you the psychology above the table. I've spent an evening with someone sitting in a throne in front of me and where they felt so much power. And essentially, that is what I'm about to force my coterie to do. I'm in essentially what is my facsimile of a throne. The
Big
chair,
plush
like
office
in this
chair.
meeting room, my chair is bigger than everyone else's chair. It's a different color. There's a different color scheme. It's a bit plushier. It has a few extra things to it. The other chairs are nice, but it isn't mine. And this place is mine. I control it.
As you sit within this $9,000 Wayfair masturbatory fucking thing, this gigantic monument to your own self-importance, the first person to the door, you hear no knock. The door busts open. Not breaking the door, but like the door does slam open unceremoniously. It's Fox.
Hi, Fox.
Deacon.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for not breaking my door.
No, I wouldn't break your door. Sorry, that's how I walk in. What's going on? Why are we here?
You're gonna want to be a part of this, and because it affects you, and
Yeah.
it involves you to an extent. So, and also, don't tell anyone else. I like you, and I wanted to involve you anyway.
When you say you like me,
Don't read too far into it. We already have an arranged meeting where I go to a punk concert.
okay, I will.
Read into it, I'm assuming.
I'm going to read into it very heavily. I've already bought the collar with your name on it. Like, it's going to be, like, you know what I mean? Like, we move quick.
Deacon
We move
doesn't
quick.
Deacon doesn't wear collars.
No, it's for me.
Good. I own several leashes. But anyway, we have business to discuss outside of pleasure.
Fox takes a seat, throws their boots up on the table, and leans back and waits for the rest of everyone to arrive.
I'm gonna say Tech shows up next. He walks in the door and he's like, "Smells like sexual tension in here."
At the other end of the table, opposite of Deacon, there's a chair that is very much Texas size. It is not as opulent as Deacon's, but it is very obviously one meant for Texas.
It's this big, oversized, like, you know, when Shaq sold office chairs?
Mm-hmm.
It's a little taller than that. Texas sits down and he sits down on it and he puts his boots on the table and he goes, "Y'all been fucking?"
No.
I can smell it.
Fox looks over at Texas. You want to smell my fingers?
Nah, I don't like the smell of shit. Deacon likes his fingers up his ass.
Deacon has not reacted to any of this.
And I think in that moment, Tex is like, "Oh, we're having a serious meeting. Sorry."
Who comes in next?
All right, Who's next?
It's gonna be one of you two because
I'll
I'm coming late.
I was gonna say, I'll say December.
Sure.
Sorry I'm late. I just had to deal with some things at the shop, and it was closing up, and persuading someone to speak to the police in the daytime.
Please have a seat wherever you wish.
Near tracks.
Yeah, the shock is the shock is palpable.
Fox looks at Texas, looks at December. Y'all fuck?
Deacon just, I was gonna say Deacon just kind of whispers, ask him.
Wouldn't you
I'm
like
asking
to
him.
know?
Definitely asking him. I would like to know. You both are hot as shit.
Like you.
All right. Lupe, do you walk in?
Oh, yeah. In the distance, you hear the roar of an engine.
Well, Lupe's here. See how that matches my car, freak.
She'll saunter through the door in a different outfit than before. She's not wearing the Valentino dress she was wearing earlier this evening. She's wearing, I don't know. Maybe she puts on something Fendi oriented to fuck with Deacon.
Deacon, who is on this night, he is wearing a similarly colored just shirt, but it's an elongated shirt to the hoodie he was wearing on the other night. Everything else is borderline the same, but it is a different pair of it is a pair of Louboutin, but they are actual tennis shoes, Louboutins.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no,
not the kind with the spikes.
I don't think she's much of a Fendi girl, but
no,
maybe a little something, like a bag charm or something, just to fuck with him. Just a different outfit.
Like as soon as
casual.
if he sees it, he gets it.
Early season Versace couture.
Oh,
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, probably something that's not even on the runway yet.
And
We could definitely
last
say
but not
that.
least, Uptown walks in wearing a suit he bought at the thrift store.
I love this.
He looks around at everyone in the room.
There's a foldable chair left. No, I'm joking.
A lawn chair?
If there is a lawn
milk
chair
crates,
in the room,
milk crates.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Uptown
Yes.
sits on the least comfortable chair in the room, and then says to everyone, "No, Modi and I weren't fucking. Don't ask."
Yeah, we were.
Shut the fuck up, Modi.
Why didn't you fuck him? He's so fuckable looking.
Yeah, I know, but
Modi's
like, I
fucking
can't.
cool.
I
I'm
can't
very
give him what he wants
fuckable.
right away.
You know what? Actually, Modi, you can stay. Take a seat. There's a seat for you. This involves you because your name pretty much came up.
So much for being in the background.
I don't want to be in the background.
What do you need, Deke? What was this? Was
what's
this
going on?
all hands?
What do
I
I
like
need?
this one.
What do I need? I need so. I'm trying to be new deacon. I'm trying to be calm and cool and collected.
Be old
I'm being
deacon.
better. I've
Be
been
Doing terrific.
I've been doing better. I haven't shot anybody because they said something coarse to me. I haven't flipped out at the slightest insult. I've been doing better.
It's been 3 days.
Yeah. I know. I felt a level of calm lately that honestly in the past couple years as a kindred I haven't felt since I was embraced. And then the Archon gives me a bunch of information that affects everybody here. Starting with the other end of the table, Texas.
Yeah.
There was a
That's
certain
what he did.
situation. There was a certain situation that I asked you to oversee. Things went a certain way, and when I asked you about it, you said you took care of it.
Yeah, I did.
According to the Archon, that was a lie. There was a
Took care
lot
of
of
it.
stuff left behind, and people have found it. Namely, either a sheriff or a scourge have found it, and all they don't have is your name attached to it.
Yeah. They don't have yours either.
But the Archon does, Texas. The
And
Archon is above everything I just said. And that can affect a lot of things for you.
like,
And I don't want, you know what? You want, like, the people that'll come after you. Because if they come after you, they come after me.
no, Deke, that's not what happens. What happens is the people that come after you come after me, and I go after the people that you go after. So you tell me, friend, what does it affect? Because it sounds like business as usual to me.
What the fuck are we talking
Masquerade
about here,
breach
Deacon?
is...
Can I get some Can I get a crumb of context, please?
Sure, I will give you a little hint, a little peek behind the curtain into MC business. Now, see here, Deke likes to have people prove their loyalty to them because time and effort is not enough. And I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
it's smart.
Okay.
We had somebody, an initiate, that decided to go into business for themselves, and we didn't really have enough proof in if that was true. So what does Deacon do? He gets on his little fancy phone in his car, and he calls his good buddy Tex, and he sends him out to go hunting. So I hunted. Well, a little piece of shit prey decided that they wanted to strike against me. The first and only mistake they made. I gave them a chance, Deacon. Like you said. Like you asked. They didn't take it. They went the opposite direction. So what's the number one rule of MC business, Deacon? Disloyalty is paid in blood.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine, because that's what you take care of. That's your side of the street. But
Why is an Archon involved?
Because they don't like how I did it. I was hungry. So I had a
that's
snack.
the problem. Because it looks like you had a snack. That's the issue
I'm
here,
sorry.
Texas. It looks like you had a snack. That goes beyond Archon. That goes beyond Anarch. That goes beyond Camarilla. That goes in the Second Inquisition.
Yeah,
So
there's
when
one
I'm
rule
asking,
that I
hey,
really give a shit about, and it's the Masquerade.
Hold on, Uptown. Please. What do you fucking mean? What do you ask me to do? I did it. I don't give a shit about any Inquisition. I don't give a fuck about a masquerade. I asked for one thing from this
To be left
Baron.
alone? To be
To
left
be
alone.
fucking left alone. And look, I keep getting sent out. This is what you get. Shit happens. Don't you make enough to make shit go away, Deacon?
Problem is, when I asked you, hey, was this taken care of?
I took care of it.
Did you lick the wound closed?
No, the fucker was dead.
You know it's still
Clawed at
closed.
his neck.
Here.
Made it look like rabid dogs. He lives out in the fucking boonies, Deke.
That's all
Gives a
fine and
shit.
dandy until the ME discovers a corpse with no blood in it.
What do y'all want? Because right now, all I'm hearing is bullshit, and I can leave. What do you want? You want me to say I'm sorry?
I'm already taking care of it. I'm already taking care of it.
Then
I'm
why
just
are you
letting-
coming after me, Deke?
So
I
that you
did
don't
what
do
you
it
asked.
again. Hey, so that you don't do it again, because a masquerade breach affects us all. It affects me, it affects December, it affects everybody in this room.
Yeah, but I don't see the
It
Archon
affects
going
all of
after you.
Kindred. I clean up my messes, Tex. You need to learn to clean up yours.
I eat mine, Lupe. That's
Well,
what
clearly
we
you
are.
didn't do a good enough job, honey.
Would you like to see how good of a job I can do? I'm more than happy to give a demonstration.
She makes her nails grow long for just a moment. I don't think you do, and that's not what this is about. You retract
My
your
house,
nails.
please.
I really would love to see how
Nope.
long those nails can
This
get.
is
Lupe.
exactly
No.
what the Camarilla wants.
I agree. It is
Enough
important
of this.
not to let it happen again. I think is the point Deacon was getting to.
Yes.
I'll curb my appetite.
Also, again, either the sheriff or the scourge is into it. They don't have your name yet, but they get your name, they get my name, they get the coterie's name. Then we have a bunch of stuff coming down our necks. This is a gigantic ladder of shit. It just starts with that.
Fox
Lupe.
looks at Deacon and Tex and Uptown, and their eyes have been like flitting back and forth between this entire exchange. Is the Archon telling the truth?
If the Archon knows,
Then the Archon knows.
yes. I'm getting to the other portions that make me believe that honestly will make what the Archon knows irrelevant. But I still need to bring it to the table because the Archon knows.
Texas,
Fox.
can you get a shred of something from that fucking loser you killed?
About $50, an empty box, and a whole lot of frustration. What are you getting at?
We can find that body.
Yeah, I still got the smell.
I
Yes.
don't like the Archon holding a fucking sword over Anarch heads. I understand that you fresh camis might have a lot of respect for Grafton and all the clout that she has and all the fucking big veiny dick energy that she comes in here swinging with. And I'm sure she looked so pretty. And she said so many sweet, intimidating, lethal, poisonous fucking words in your ear. I can tell you there's one person in this room that isn't afraid to kill an Archon.
Fox.
Fox, nothing.
No.
I'm
I was
telling
gonna
you.
say, why do you think I invited you?
Because you want to fuck.
There's a string of information that's ultimately, I feel like, gonna. Okay. There's a string of information. Jesus. No, there's a string of information that I have that ultimately does affect you, because what you just said is skipping ahead a few chapters. We'll circle back round to what you just
I'm
said.
gonna make a phone call real quick.
Okay.
Uptown steps outside the boardroom, Aaron. And
Okay.
I'm gonna use my side hustler merit. Once
Okay.
per session,
Uh-huh.
get an item, a piece of information, or access to an event as if you had 2 dots in resources, contacts, or influence. Where's
Uh-huh.
that fucking body? Where is it?
Nice.
You start making calls.
Yep.
I'll ask. Who does Uptown know within the agricultural sector that he could call on that might know something about this body? That's where that trail is going to lead. What person does Uptown know?
A fertilizer supplier.
That body was churned up and tossed away a long fucking time ago. Probably about a day and a half after the actual incident happened. That got cleaned up. The Archon's lying.
Okay. Also, fertilizer supplier because bombs.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, okay. Fucking
Yeah.
pyro.
Uptown walks back into the boardroom, sits down. The Archon's lying.
What do you mean?
Guns line.
Oh, because that body was taken care of maybe a day and a half after it happened. Sorry, Tex.
That's okay.
I came at you a little hard there.
Fine. I'm used to it.
That takes care of things. That takes care of that. Texas, I need you to understand, I was not coming at you for that. I was coming at you for the whole, I took care of it, and you didn't take... How I asked you to help me take care of a thing is how I meant.
I got
You
you.
get me? You feel me?
I got
All
you.
right.
I got you. I got you.
All right.
You know we're anarchs, right? You understand what we signed up for. He knows, Fox says, pointing at Uptown. We
Yeah.
stick together. That's the one thing.
Yeah.
The one thing that we have on the Camarilla. That's it. I don't know many of you. Not as well as I would like. I would die for any of you if it meant spitting in the face of the Camarilla. You can learn to be like
I
me.
would not let that happen.
You can learn to be like me. Or you can keep acting like Camarilla.
In that I brought up that the Masquerade was breached and it needed to be cleaned up. I was not accusing, and trust on my end, if it needed to be cleaned up, I was going to clean it up. But if I can't give him shit, what's the point of being friends?
It's
Is
just
giving
about
shit
having his
priority one. We have a lot of important things going on, and
Oh yeah. Oh no.
chat
That
over whether or not this constitutes a breach.
legitimately
It's on top
the
of
only
my
reason
list.
the reason I addressed Tex first is because Tex is my boy, and I wanted to get that out of the way. It's been resolved now. We can move on. Lupe,
Yes.
this affects you. Your ex.
Interesting. What about him?
He had dealings with the prince. Business partners.
Yes, I was
And upon-
there. You were there.
You were upon Strathcona's death. He started buying up all of the stuff that Strathcona had going in the human world, the kind world.
Strange. Okay.
And also he put it all in your name.
That does not sound like something he would do.
Now, because Uptown just quickly found out that something that the Archon said was a lie, and honestly, I was not in a position one-on-one with someone who has reached the level of Archon to argue. This would be another lie. This is what she told me.
All I can
This is
say
something
is
that we could both find out.
I would like to find out. All I can say is, if he is doing it, I didn't know. He's not the type to give a gift without telling me.
I don't think it was a gift.
Aaron,
if it is
I'm
true,
gonna make another phone call.
yes.
Uptown's gonna step out in the hallway again. I got Influence City Bureaucracy too. Has somebody all been purchasing that stuff up and putting it under an alias or whatever that belongs to Lupe?
What level of influence do you have?
I have 2, but I have resources 4 that I can spike it with if I need to.
Spend the money.
Okay.
And if I could help with this, because I feel like by this, how much time has passed since I found this information now and this meeting? Has it been the full 3 days? A day? Oh, I would have delved deep into all of this then by then.
Okay.
I just didn't. Daryl didn't have the wherewithal to ask for a roll. I have influence 3, straight up the government, and resources maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
So, what would I roll to have figured this out?
You can
If I
roll.
could.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you can do is you can roll charisma plus politics
Oh,
and add influence.
okay.
Am I doing the same thing?
You can do the same.
Okay.
So that's 3. I took a duck in politics. I was smart. Of the 8 that I just had lingering around, I spent 3 of them on politics. You said charisma plus politics plus my influence?
Yes.
And that is
Spending a willpower.
my 3. How the fuck does that happen? Yeah, I'm gonna spend a willpower too.
I got 6 with a crit.
I mean, we're not keeping score here, so
That's true, yeah. We're using different influences, so we're likely to get different results coming at the same
Right.
problem. Yeah.
you're going through the back door. I'm going through the front
Yes.
door, and the front door tends to be a bit slower because I got 2 successes with 7 dice.
Okay.
I have 2 in charisma and 1 in politics, and then 2 in influence.
Yeah,
Oh god.
3 charisma, 3 in influence, 1 in politics.
Absolutely insane. Alright.
You discover, between the two of you, you corroborate notes. You follow paper trail after paper trail after money trail after money trail. You see shell businesses started. You see assets conglomerated, dissolved, reaffirmed. You see contacts that are left as agents, as this. You see mortal individuals that are given positions of authority who happen to be in the pocket of an influential individual. You find one singular adjoining thread, which is Jimena Hidalgo.
Jimena Hidalgo?
Yes.
And Deacon would just say that name.
Interesting.
Does
I
that
haven't
mean
used that
anything
one
to
in a
you?
while.
So that
It's one of
All right.
mine, yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
somebody in the ministry taken over?
or someone trying to frame you.
Probably. I seem to be
Because
very
if someone's
popular these nights.
Lupe,
But it's
you're
not
popular
Liam,
every
then.
night.
You know what I mean.
So this Jimena person, is that an alias for this Liam guy? Or
It's
is
one of
that somebody
mine.
different?
Per
It's one of mine.
aliases.
One of your what?
Aliases.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
gotcha.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. And why is that important? True
Yeah, I
question.
am curious about the importance of this. Or is it just meant to make us
Well-
chase our tails?
It seems
Oh,
as
well.
if I'll explain it to Deacon and Uptown, the actual ramifications of that.
Mhm.
Whoever seems to be able to hold the name Jimena Hidalgo and give all of the documents and et cetera, and prove their prove their name, prove their identity, etc., etc., it would seem as if they control about a solid 10% of the downtown financial district of Calgary. Literally millions of dollars in assets, massive swaths of influence, a kindred's life work in the palm of their hand.
Well, Tex, Lupe, December. The reason why that matters is if you have that name, you control about 10% of downtown's infrastructure in its entirety. That's something that a kindred would work a human's entire lifetime to build. That is influence kin to what an elder, something older than an elder. Influence of that
Now,
of
being
of a
able to
kindred.
pull that off that quickly,
Yes,
that raises flags and makes people ask questions at the very least.
if anything, and I brought this up when again the Archon brought it up to me. There's two ways to interpret that. Either they're trying to put a target on Lupe's back, or they're trying to drag Lupe back to the cam.
Oh,
Because
don't worry, they are.
there's again, I feel like you misinterpreted what I said when I said there's always attention on you. That was the one time it was not a positive. 99.9% it is always positive when I say that, Lupe.
Well, that tends to go back to what Uptown is saying. If the lack is working together, it does raise flags and raise questions. Unless the people who would ask the questions are the ones who are...
Well, my biggest
doing the
question
dirty
is
work.
why would they do this with your alias, Lupe, and not tell you? That screams
That's-
deception.
That's the part I don't understand.
Yeah.
And
It's
I
because
have
you have so
a
many.
theory on that.
You do.
What's that, December?
I have a theory on that. I was
All ears.
looking into that flask that Lavali wanted me to use to collect Lupe's blood. And I was able to identify the inner workings of the rituals. And there's bonding power available there. And it's already set up to work. From someone very powerful, much older than I. And I think all of you.
That's why he
You
wanted
may not have
my-
had a choice. You might have been compelled.
Oh, you're thinking that he wanted to covertly blood bond Lupe while also grooming her to be a leader in the city with all of this influence?
Perhaps as a puppet, perhaps as a willing participant.
Brings me to my next point. Speaking with the Archon, after a bit of tete-a-tete about my sire and a few other things, I finally got to ask her a question, which was, who did she think did it? And Fox, I swear I'm getting to the reason why I invited you here, because she let slip a few other things. Strathcona, in the past, has faked him death to the point where the very same Archon came to this city to investigate. This time, she actually believes he's dead. But in his time, he has made old enemies. And when I say old, I mean possibly just after the flood that they talk about in the Bible, maybe old, Dark Ages old, people carrying around swords old, the First Inquisition old, possibly. When I hear old, I'm just, you're all above me in age. I'm just catching up. But
That's fucking weird that you say that. Uptown pulls the piece of paper out of his pocket, opens it, puts it on the table, and slides it over in Lupe and December's direction. And I posted the text that Uptown was hearing from his dream in the Discord for you both to read.
Ooh. Treats.
Yeah, I had a wild fucking nightmare last night after this all happened. Does any of this mean anything to you two? I don't. It honestly sounds like a bunch of occult mumbo jumbo to me.
Does it look familiar?
Unfortunately, it is quite familiar.
To me?
To you and to December. This is not specific Sedite. This is not specific Tremere. This is old and strange. It's going to take a minute to find out exactly what leather-bound, horrifying grimoire of forbidden knowledge this was ripped out of, but this is from one of the big three ancient texts. You're just not quite sure which one. Could be the Book of Nod. Could be Revelations of the Dark Mother. Could be the Ericus fragments.
Yeah, I have no idea what any of this means. Is it important?
Extremely. You heard this?
No, it came to me in a dream, well, nightmare, technically. There were voices saying these things to me in concert, all at the same time. And I think if I didn't have the kind of senses that I do, I wouldn't have even been able to piece apart all of this and write it down.
December, as your eyes go over this again and again and again, your incredibly astute mind breezing past it multiplicatively, trying to draw a reason. Can I please get you to roll premonition for me?
Ooh, do I get to use that +1 to my next premonition from
You got it.
the previous tap-in? Excellente. Okay.
my brain went to another system. I was just like, no, not a sanity check.
Fucking,
You're not far
fucking
off.
close.
Yeah.
There's a reason why that book's in the background. I'll tell you that much right now.
Oh, the stuff we've been dealing with. This is, we're almost there. We're
I
just
love weird
we're
eldritch
playing
shit.
pulp rules because we got magic, basically.
Can I also
Crossing
roll
the
a thing,
streams.
or-
If you would like to roll
Or
very
success.
specifically, I would love an intelligence and occult from Lupe.
A willpower if you want it.
Yeah, willpower if you want it, December.
Oh, yeah, it's worth it. Let's go. Yeah. That is 5 successes.
5 successes.
Yes.
One sec.
8. She locked in. Like
Brendan, check your DMs.
eyeballs blood red.
Uh-huh. Oh,
DM it to me.
yeah.
Shit.
I thought I remembered, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
December, as you're
this
looking at these, the letters turn to bone. They form little strange dancing skeleton men on the page. And you fall into this fugue as they all take hands and dance across the pages. And then they fall dead again in a different order. And it says, "Ah, someone has finally found us." It's usually one of the Clan of the Moon. But here you are, warlock, usurper, degenerate, thief. What do you want with our prophecies? What do you want with our book?
With your what? The last word was lost.
You keep
Book.
cutting out because you're doing the thing with the mic.
Stupid freaking. It's right in my face.
With their book.
With the book.
To access most important knowledge.
To steal more. To thieve more. You and your fell worm of a master stole immortality, ripped it away. You were not content with merely being will workers, controlling all of the strands of reality. You and yours weren't happy, and so you cursed yourselves. You took our curse. You stole it from us. You took our bodies and you fused them together and you make abominations. You take our blood and you make your foul potions and you give yourself this bastardized, usurped, divine immortality. And now you come to me asking for more information.
Would you rather be lost to the sands of time, never to be known again?
I have not been lost for a single day in my entire existence other than the day that I lost my humanity.
So you won't reveal yourself to me. Instead, you'll stay hidden for other thieves to find? Or is there someone you're waiting for?
There has been one that I have waited for millennia. But they're not coming back.
Then why not me?
You bandy with true evil and foulness. You cavort with those that would perpetuate the same cycles. You have not earned anything. You're young and impetuous, and you have much to learn. So before you come and try to rip the information out of hands that would destroy you, I am not without shards of clemency for those that have cursed themselves such. So I will give you this. Kill your masters. Kill your gods. And throw down what you think is right. And start doing what is right. And then those words on the page stand up and turn into bones again. They dance as little skeletons and then fall back onto the page the same way that they were before.
What did that look like for everyone else?
It looked like December was looking at a page and then quietly talking to themselves.
Oh, was it just like the briefest of moments? It wasn't just like
about a minute or so, maybe.
Oh, just fully a minute of just. Okay.
Before
December.
we tune into that, though, I would like to resolve the roll that Lupe made.
Okay.
I got
good.
3
Sorry, I
successes.
Lupe made a.
How many successes? I'm sorry.
3.
3. It all comes back to Liam,
Of course it
as it usually does. He was a collector. He enjoyed finding esoteric, rare artifacts. He loved finding these occult writings. He always wanted to prove them wrong. Set was the way. Sutek, the Dark One above all, was right. However, every so often, something would come across his table. And he would show you. He showed you everything. Something would come across his table that was upsetting to him. Something old that couldn't be cross-referenced. There was no refuting it. It was ancient. Written by hands that had foreknowledge and experiences that were truly beyond the comprehension of kindred of your age.
Right.
This is a snippet of the Ericius fragments. A loose collection penned by the hand Nicoloso Giovanni. The entire unlife's work of one man compiling every shred of prophecy and evidence surrounding clans of death.
This isn't the same as
Just-
the book I took from Liam, is it?
This is not the same as the book that you have taken from Liam.
Alright.
The book that you took from Liam was far more personal.
But I have read this book.
You have read fragments of the fragments. The finding an entire compiled copy of something like the Book of Nod, something like Revelations of the Dark Mother, is a rarity upon rarity. These are tomes that are sought out by ancient kindred and destroyed, as they are seen as propaganda, as they are seen as dangerous. They contain knowledges that are not to be known by the young kindred of the world, but you've seen pages from it, specifically this one.
So is this important or what?
It's extremely important. It's very
Wait.
old.
Wait, really?
Very old. Yes.
Okay, so when you say important, is this like important to the point where you're gonna have to share it with us at a later time? We're not joined by a special guest, or is this like very important to like secret society where we probably shouldn't? Where I probably should stop talking right now.
Yeah, should I shut the fuck up about this?
Yeah, I wouldn't spread
Yes.
this around.
All right.
Say
Sure.
less.
All right. So,
Very,
Okay.
very old.
We'll need to
I
talk.
have read some of this before.
Read it before.
Yes.
Can I come by your temple at some point to talk
Yeah.
more about this?
Would you like
This
to
is
pay
legit.
tribute?
This-
She leans across the table.
Oh, I've had an offer rumbling around in my head for a little while ago about you and I making a deal. We should talk later.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
I would like to be a part of this. Do I also have to pay a tribute?
I was asking. I'm gonna ask Lupe for something real personal. So
Okay.
if you want to hear about it later, maybe I can fill
yeah.
you in.
I
But
can be
anyways,
outside
did you have
for it.
anything else, Deacon? I'm sorry to derail everything with the.
Oh, no. Again, everything ties into this because none of what the fuck has been happening makes any goddamn fucking sense. There's no reason that all the evidence that we've gathered makes sense. Everyone was there. Nobody remembers. Are you shitting me? I shoot a
Okay.
fucking primogen in the head. He still stands up and starts talking. There's something
Lupe's just
else
making
there.
eye contact with December during this part of the conversation.
There's a level to this that I'm not at yet. And again, I'm young comparatively. Even in kindred years, and I'm going to reveal this to everyone here, even in kindred years, I am only 38 years old.
Telling. Of such personal
That-
information.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah, right? And yet I have
Aw.
so much influence and power.
Don't
So-
break your shoulder, Deacon. Come on now.
Sounds like you're compensating.
I
Oh.
wouldn't.
Fox
Yeah,
looks at
it's really
Fox looks at you. I'm kind of getting the ick.
It's not really a good look to say something like that after you, whatever.
Oh, me admitting that I don't know stuff because I'm young compared to the old fuddy-duddies in the room? Yeah. Sure. Anyway,
No, it's
lastly,
not that. It's you
Yeah,
being
launch
like, look
now.
at me, I have influence. Like,
You just call me a fuddy duddy?
Call me old.
if I was going to call you old Lupe, I would have just simply said the words, but I would never.
I'm not
All right.
upset, but yeah.
So let me get this straight. Let me brain this out. All right. Okay.
Please.
You had this meeting with the Archon, right?
Yeah.
She lied to you,
Yes, apparently.
and now we're making all sorts
Yeah,
of
that was a bit-
assumptions about her authority. And saying all sorts of stuff like she's got all this information and all this power and all this whatever. What the fuck does that change about us having to find who Strathcona's killer is? What did she ask you to do?
This-
Hey, Modi,
She didn't act.
you know something about that, right?
What
Hey,
about
he was
what?
there.
Yeah, I was there.
Oh. Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. So
Hang on. I'd like to have some assurances that you aren't full of shit.
What do you mean?
How much blood you got left in you?
How much blood do I have left in me?
Oh, there's nicer ways of doing that.
Well, I think it's like 10 liters, like the normal human amount.
And I just want to put forth something, Fox. You met with the Archon.
Yeah.
So, what was that conversation like? Since you're trying to get around on me.
What conversation?
There wasn't a conversation. The way she put it, Well, actually, no.
It was brave.
This is Daryl. Remembering, Fox was not very forthcoming according to what the Archon said. Very hard to get information from, if I remember correctly. This is Daryl speaking, by the way. But still,
I met with the Archon.
Before we get,
I met with the Archon. It was me, Hank Teppins, and Longtooth was there. Hank Teppins, he runs Le Petit Bouffe. He's like a gourmand for us. He's a wizard in the kitchen. He's an absolute fucking wizard. He whips up a blood souffle that'll actually make you nut. I'm telling you right now. He said something about blood and eggs.
Guy, but okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Regardless, we were all there. And then Archon Grafton comes swaggering in, plunks down some ebony fucking chair. Says,
was there a chair? The chair there, ebony.
Yeah, it was definitely. Yeah, it was.
So
definitely,
so she literally carries this around with her. Okay. Yep. Dots down on the
shows
scale.
up at the restaurant, slaps down this chair, sets up her mood lighting, right? And then starts asking all sorts of questions. So Hank answers a few questions. Real surface level shit. Could get it anywhere. Then she looks to me. She's got a real fucking stink face. Doesn't like the way I look, I guess. Not sure. Uppity Toreador shit. You know, hot, but not slutty like a ministry. Really gets under my fucking skin. So, she makes a passing comment about my band. She talks a bunch of shit about the revolution. Makes a big fucking assumption about my identity. So I covered her in kerosene and I tried to light her on fire.
Nice. Yeah, honestly, that's well done. Good stuff.
She's in my fucking domain.
Warranted.
As far as she knows, it's a courtesy.
We're getting closer and closer to why I want you here, Fox.
Well, let's let the ghoul talk. He was there.
Yeah. We're going to. I'm just letting you know the clock is ticking on when we get to why you're here.
Right. Thank you. Yeah. So Modi looks. Am I good? Can I talk?
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Am I fine? Am I good? Wasn't asking you. I'm asking the boss.
Go
Lupe,
ahead.
can I talk?
What the fuck did you just say?
Thank you so much.
Hey, D, come on.
I get it. It's your office, man. I'm just fucking with you. Jeez. Holy shit.
Can I verify the accuracy of his statements as we go?
Oh.
I mean, I can also do something that is less effort if you want.
Hey, Modi, tell the truth.
If you'd like.
I'll tell, guys. I'll tell the truth. Listen, hold on. I don't have any fucking qualms. Take my blood. Do what you got to do. I'm not cagey about it. Lavali used to do all sorts of fucking weird shit. He made a fucking little dancing dude out of my fingernails one time. Like, shit got weird for me in there. So, yeah, I'm fine with you taking some of my blood for truth? Truth? Blood? Right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
Exactly.
I'm a little
But
squeamish.
DJ, if you think your way is easier, as long as it's as accurate, I'm fine.
Aw's pretty accurate, right? Makes people want to tell me anything and everything I want to hear.
Awe is, yeah, especially with the raw amount of like looks and charisma and persuasion that you have, it's real close to truth serum.
Also doesn't
The
require
only thing
any
I would
blood
say
or
is,
passing blood. But if you want,
as long as there's nothing like addled in Modi's mind, then what you're doing is as effective. So I think if we're confident in that, do your thing because your way is faster.
I'm just gonna put up Awe.
Modi's eyes go wide. He's like,
Ah, there it is. Sit.
I'll do whatever you want, mama. And then he plunks
You're
down.
nervous?
He like plunks down right in front of you. And he like sits
Very good.
real fucking close.
Very good. What did you see while you were there the night of the prince's death?
I was sitting out in the car. I was supposed to be Lavali's driver. Eventually, I got a little bit worried. I liked Lavali. I still don't hate that man. He's just complicated and forceful. He went in to Calgary Tower, or sorry, the Suncore building.
Mm-hmm.
About an hour and a half goes by. It was supposed to be a 1-hour meeting. He does not let those go long.
Okay.
I go inside. I burn out a couple of locks.
What floor?
Top floor.
Hope I didn't ask that. But
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Also bloodbound to Uptown.
that's true.
And I can't tell you what I saw.
Because
I think my memory was wiped. But I can tell you details that they don't know. It's outside of the window of memory erasure.
what are they?
I have a name.
Of
I think it's the Malkavian you're looking for.
excellent.
It's a
What is
famous
it?
one. And I
Oh.
say that I don't think this is... If it's true, and they're in the city, then it's a problem. There's a very famous Malkavian, and his name is Anatoly.
Aaron, do I know who that is?
You don't.
Okay.
What?
I would require checks.
Okay. I'll roll whatever you want me to.
Intelligence and occult, please.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I already have that pool.
Can I get in on this?
Oh,
Since
yeah.
I have,
Oh,
We're
yeah.
all hearing the names. Yeah.
Great.
Mhm.
I want to get
Wait,
in
do you
on it
lose a
too,
dice?
because
Yeah,
I only
Tex
roll-
is just like, I don't know shit, but I wanna.
I want to know.
Aaron, you lose a dice for not having a point in the skill, right?
Yes, that is how that works.
I'm burning a willpower.
Oh, jeez.
Nice. Okay.
I can't burn a willpower because I got 1 dice and I got 1 hunger, but I got a 10 on it, so
Okay.
1
3
success.
successes.
3 successes. December.
What was the roll?
Also,
Sorry.
successes.
Intelligence and
Intelligence
occult.
yeah.
December, what was that? Sorry?
Intelligence
Also
and
three.
occult.
One more time.
3 successes.
Thank you so much. We'll wait for Deacons.
You said intelligence and occult, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm gonna burn a willpower. I'm glad I burned a willpower. That is a total of 6 successes with a crit.
Hey, there you go. You're paying me back.
We'll get to Deacon's success in a minute here. Lupe and December, you recognize that name. You have the information that individuals who have been in occult circles for a long time would have. Anatoly is one of the most famous Gehenna prophets on the entire planet. He was a portent of the end times. He was a walking preacher of Armageddon. Wherever he went, 2 things usually happened. 1, a large glut of the court structure would start seeing visions of doom and portents of the end times. And 2, there would be a grand upset of power. Sects would change. Individuals would die. Independence would gain control. Chaos would reign. Things usually came out for the better. Because through it all, Anatoly was a guiding hand that tried to mitigate the worst parts of those disasters. Deacon, you get an extra nugget of knowledge on top of all of that. Anatoly was a part of the original Court of Calgary. When it was first formed by Camarilla settlers ages ago. The reason you know this is because they were a very deep correspondent of your sire. They would send letters back and forth, talking of business of the day, etc., etc. It seems as if they had some sort of rapport. You've heard of Anatoly.
Anatoly? Deacon says this out loud.
Yeah, Anatoly, yeah.
Why does it keep coming back to us?
Who's Anatoly?
He was an old Malkavian. Old.
Weird.
Getting back to the first council of Calgary.
Strange.
that
I've never
because-
heard of him.
You,
Well, he was in pal of my sire.
you're all sitting, having this discourse. Sliding in through the door comes a man wearing a white shirt with a red cross on the front of it, blonde hair slicked back, fangs extended, black jeans, rips in the knees, and a belt with a gigantic belt buckle right in the front of it that has such a very clear image of the Malkavian symbol of a broken mirror. It is a mirrored belt buckle, all shattered. I heard my name.
Oh, fuck.
And that is where we are going to end it for the evening.
Fucker.
Hey, great to be the muscle.
You know what? You know what?
Can't wait to
I'm
talk
not
to
even mad.
him.
I'm not even mad.
Can't wait.
Just
I'm so
give me 4
excited.
XP so I can go. Just give me my 4 XP so I can go. Jesus Christ.
4 XP, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to start putting pips
fucking
into
love this
things
shit.
like
I love this shit.
politics.
Right?
All right,
Yeah, all drafts into a fucking boardroom.
folks, we're gonna find somebody very quickly to raid out to. Anybody got any suggestions? Let's see who's
T-Pain.
live. Let's see who's live. Is T-Pain live?
T-Pain is live.
T-Pain's live. We're raiding
Let's
into
go,
T-Pain.
T-Pain.
Yeah, we're raiding into
go.
T-Pain. Absolutely,
T-Pain.
absolutely.
For the
Bam.
bit.
Dude, I love T-Pain. Like unironically, fucking yeah, absolutely.
hell
I
yeah.
love T-Pain for the simple fact that he created the Pizzle packs, which are he made beats specifically for streamers to use during their streams.
Honestly, the best concert I've ever been to was a T-Pain concert in Austin. It was fucking dope.
/ raid. I want to
T-Pizzle.
raid
Fucking legit.
channel T-Pain. There it is.
Let's go.
Tremendous. We are absolutely
I didn't-
raiding out to
honestly-
T-Pain. This is for the bit. We've raided out to T-Pain quite a few times. One of these days he's going to follow us back. I fucking love this man. I hope he fucking sees this and he's like, who the fuck are these people? Who's this fucking RPG group that keeps raiding in? Don't care.
What the hell is Vampire?
Yeah, what's VTM?
Play VTM with us. Please.
Yeah,
This
play
is-
VTM
this
with
is
us,
how we get-
T-Pain,
yeah,
please.
This is how we get
Yeah.
T-Pain as a vampire.
Absolutely,
Hallelujah.
absolutely.
We get to take credit for T-Pain knowing about Vampire the Masquerade.
He's a Toreador, first of all. Okay, everybody. Hi there. This has been another World Tabletop. We're running a little long on time, so we're going to skedaddle really quickly. I love all of you. Thank you for watching. We will be live next Saturday. Wait for it. We are going to be sans Ian. We're going to miss him so fucking dearly, but we should be back with an interlude for y'all, so you're gonna have to wait 2 whole weeks to see Anatoly come into the fray. We love every single one of you. You're all super pretty. You smell real good. We will catch you on the flip-flop. Bye.
Bye.
Right.
And we're out.
Ooh, T-Pain.